so keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked.
That'll definitely do.
Ew. Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up, and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are live. Welcome to the Dropshot, episode number 60 plus 2 for a total of 62. Quick maths. My name's Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined, as always, by my good friend Tanner. Tanner, what the fuck is up?
What's going on, boys? I'm excited, dude.
I am
excited.
I am an excited boy. I am like a 7-year-old on Christmas Eve today.
Wow,
This evening. That's my level of excitement for this episode, which is going to be both fun and exciting and super long. So I will remind everyone, go get some snacks. We've got a couple quick announcements to just fucking blow through, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes.
No, why don't you give your whole speech about tea and crumpets for the podcast listeners to hear?
What do you mean my speech about tea and crumpets?
You've said it 8 times already. Get your tea, get your crumpets.
Yeah.
Give them the whole line.
Okay, fine. I told everyone in the pre-show that this is going to be a very long episode. So, podcast listener, pause now and go get coffee, tea, biscuits, crumpets, an Afghan, a comforter, a bathrobe, some popcorn, ice cream, candy. Get cozy, dude. Get some slippers, some Uggs, and settle the fuck in.
They have nice slippers.
Yeah, okay. Well, kind of sus that you know that, but we're gonna just settle in and get comfortable because this is gonna be a long one. So I'm gonna try to blow through the bullshit as quickly as I can so that we can get to the fun stuff, as it were. Now, as we all know, of course, the multiplayer reveal for Black Ops Call of Duty Cold War Red Door CIA Operation Northwoods Vundibop Edition 2020 was this afternoon. The multiplayer reveal has happened, and we have learned an absolute bevy of information, which we will be condensing, formatting, and delivering to you in a mostly palatable format this evening. So first, welcome to our new patrons, Killicam, Justin C, Kyle B, Fallen772 Fallen, change it, J Bunner, B-Man, Felipe C, Kyle S, and Chase H. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Patreon. Patreon.com/thedropshot. 4 bonus episodes per month for only $5. And if you want to spend a little more cash, a little more scratch, there's some extra benefits, perks, etc. Patreon.com/thedropshot for the details. And welcome, new frogs. We hope you enjoy. If you are a new frog on the Patreon, by the way, in the Discord, there's a page called New Patron Onboarding. Go there because it'll show you how to do everything, like link all your accounts and shit. So you can get the new podcast app, or feed rather, in your app, your favorite app, wherever you listen to podcasts. So anyway, thank you all. By the way, our last Patreon episode was the favorite Patreon episode Tanner and I have ever fucking recorded.
Absolutely.
We basically put down a list of like all of the questions we had for ourselves that we weren't like sure about, and kind of like talked them out and tried to reach conclusions on things.
Relating to Warzone
And how to win in Warzone. If you're maybe a little curious, Patreon curious, doesn't matter. You can go to the YouTube, and in the YouTube clips section, the 2 most recent clips are from that episode. Check those out if you like what you hear. It's only $5 a month. Hashtag shill. Anyways, yeah, that was a great episode. And if you want to get a little sneak peek, it's there. And that episode will be live Friday at noon, my time, which is the only correct time zone. Also, Jimmy's Beard, and thank you for the offline sub. Goated out for the 1,000 offline biddies. I appreciate you, boys. I'm honored, humbled, and privileged, and the support is very appreciated. Tanner, any announcements on your end?
Oddly enough, no, I have no announcements, so.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Fucking shit on, actually.
I'll keep that in mind for sure. Okay, all right. So, Tanner blown the fuck out. Besides that, last announcement here, boys. I'm trying to go fast. Bear with me. We are doing a giveaway of Black Ops Cold War CIA Bundy Bop Operation Northwoods Red Door CIA 2020 edition. Ultimate edition. $90. 90 United States dollars worth of digital content. Over on my Twitter. Twitter.com/Razinon. To enter, see the pinned tweet. We're going to pick a winner on Monday, the 14th. So it's very simple. Just go to my fucking Twitter and figure it out. And by the way, we're going to be doing another one next week. So we're going to pick a winner Monday, and then Tanner's going to fucking fire off another one, and we're going to give away another Ultimate Edition. And we might do more after that. I don't fucking know.
We'll fucking see.
We fucking could. We certainly fucking could. So keep your eyes on our Twitters, because we're doing at minimum these two, but probably more. So anyway, yeah, it's not too late for mine, and then Tanner's is not even up yet, so it's not too late for that. So no announcements, TDS?
No, sir.
All right, so real quick, a couple things here. Czar with the 1,000 biddies. Let's go. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you, Czar. Lots of support today and in the past. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, sir. Much love. And Mom's Prime sub. Do not change it. I love it. That's fantastic. I think that's Thomas. Yeah, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. Get scammed, Jeff Bezos. Using his mom's Amazon Prime subscription to embezzle funds from Amazon Incorporated.
Could have used it on me, but thanks.
Allegedly. Get shit
Thomas.
on, Tanner. Get shit on. So thank you, boys. Appreciate the support. And now, of course, if you were listening for the jingle, here it is. All right. So today, dude, I did the announcements in like 5 minutes. Fucking unheard of. I'm excited to get to the meat and potatoes.
Well, there weren't any.
There were.
Yeah.
I wanted to include more, trust me, including my new European cut suits, my Italian leather belts.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you? Wow.
I ripped it, dude. I ripped it because
Man, good on you, dude.
Because this episode is that important to me, and it's very hard for me to not talk about my European cut tailored suits and my Italian leather belts. Trust me, that's difficult for me to not talk about those things.
You'll talk about it on Saturday once you receive the European cut tailored suit.
Exactly. That is absolutely the plan.
You're gonna wear it, by the way. You're wearing it for the pod. But anyways.
Oh, you mean in the spot where it was 120 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday? Hey, absolutely not. Absolutely not wearing it. Thanks, though. Good try, stupid bitch. So our first section here, playlist updates. We have a couple little news items for Modern Warfare 2019 Game of the Year edition. There we go. We're going to try and kind of breeze through those quickly because I know everyone is really looking forward to talking about Cold War, including myself and Tanner. So playlist update in MDub. We got Ground War regular, no more boots on the Ground War. Gunfight OSP, which is gunfight on-site procurement. Read a book. That means you spawn with no guns and you have to pick them up like it's the beginning of a Warzone map, which is a yikes. Stay away from this mode. Demolition, still don't really know what that is. Do you, Tanner?
Don't care.
Don't care indeed. Party modes, which is a free-for-all mosh pit of like one in the chamber and gun game. Absolutely don't care. And then shoot the ship is still in the game. So that's good. That's both fun and exciting. And then in Warzone, they took out plunder blood money. Doesn't matter. Plunder's still in the game. They removed Kingslayer trios and they added plunder trios. So not much, but there it is. So that's the playlist update. And now moving on to patch notes for this shit game. Not much, not really anything to cover here, but since last week, vehicles were taken out of Warzone because a bug was discovered where you like fucking crash the vehicle into a wall and then the entire lobby breaks. So people were like doing that in every single lobby. So they took vehicles out of Warzone. But they've since fixed it and vehicles are back in Warzone. So not really much to say here. The bug appears to be fixed. Don't worry, there are 3,000 more. So just wait. Something else will crash the server next. Maybe next it's going to be like shooting a fucking Galil. Who knows? But for now, this bug has been fixed.
The cash bugs are back, by the way. Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah. Superstore is like always bugged.
You can walk out of Superstore with $50,000 again. So
yep.
No exaggeration. They can't do anything. Not even a hot fix. Nothing.
Yeah.
Without fucking up a bunch of other things.
They absolutely can't, and it's disgraceful. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah. Superstore is one of these glitched places where if you drop there in Warzone, it's as if it's like a plunder lobby. There's like literally like 10 racks on the ground in one spot. There's all these like legendary weapons. You can leave Superstore with actually like 50,000 in Warzone. So there's a bunch of people landing there, but if you survive, you can get 8 loadouts. So the game's a glitchy, buggy, fucking disaster. Anyways, only 64 more days, 2 hours, and 44 more minutes, boys. Hang in there.
But who's counting?
Okay, anyways. News and upcoming changes. A couple little more M-dub things to go over here. Number one, this dude on Twitter apparently leaks shit.
He does a lot.
I actually don't know if I can show this image.
You don't need to show
Yeah, I'm not going to show this. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to show. I thought of that in the nick of time. But some dude somehow used a weapon that's in the files. His Twitter is BKTOOR_, at BKTOOR_. You can see the videos there. But the AA-12 is in the files, and it's like usable in the game, so you can go watch that. And by the way, the AA-12 is a fully automatic shotgun. That sounds fun. Now, Tanner, what's your favorite weapon to go up against in Warzone currently in this meta?
Probably the Origin.
Probably the Origin, yeah. That's my favorite, too. Why is that your favorite weapon to go up against?
Because it rapes me very hard.
Well, here's the thing about
shit on by it.
Here's the thing about shotguns with a very high refire rate. They're not balanced. Because you don't have to aim, you hip fire. And if there's a low refire rate, then there's no penalty to having shit accuracy. You just press your button and then people die. Very OP. That's the Origin. Now, don't worry, it's going to get better. What's better than a semi-automatic shotgun? A fully automatic shotgun. That is going to be both fun and exciting in Warzone, especially. Also in multiplayer, but definitely in Warzone. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to walk into a building. It's the second to last circle. And there's going to be 3 kids prone watching the door with their AA-12s. And they're just going to press a button and you're instantly going to die.
It's going to be so exciting.
It's going to be fun and exciting. So be thrilled for that, the AA-12. And then also the AS-VAL. I don't know how that's pronounced. Don't really care. But it appears to be an assault rifle. And it actually looks pretty fucking good. It looks like it has a high fire rate and very little recoil. Have you seen this video, TDS?
I have. So an AS-VAL, I also don't know how to pronounce it, but it's I think it's a Russian gun, and it's got like an integrated suppressor built into it. So that'll be super interesting how that works out, like what the barrel attachments will be, or if there will even be any.
Yeah.
Maybe there won't be a barrel attachment. Who knows? But yeah, the only thing I know about that gun is I think it has a very small magazine capacity. Like it's only 20. Usually in games, it's like...
Interesting.
In most video games, it's shit. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It's suppressed. It has a pretty high fire rate, and you blow through the magazine in half a second. But it shoots like a BB gun typically.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays out.
We will fucking see, but yeah, I get the feeling the AS-VAL is not going to be very good either. Because if it has that high fire rate and that little recoil, I know Infinity Ward's dumb, but they're not dumb enough to give that a bunch of range. Like, I think it's just not going to hit very hard, and it's not going to have that much range. So,
yeah.
Looks fun, though. Looks fun to use. So, that might be good to pair with, like, a sniper in Warzone. Because it looks like it's going to be highly maneuverable, but still have a little more range than, like, a sub. So, might be a good option. But we'll see. Anyways, next little leak is Night Warzone is coming soon. Exclusive Ace had a video covering all of this. He wasn't the progenitor of any of these leaks, but he covered them all in one video. And I remember him explaining how they found out about Night Warzone. It was like the devs, like people were loading in and it was night or some shit. Don't really know. But it's like basically confirmed that Night Warzone is coming to Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone.
I feel like that's going to be very soon.
Okay. And are you excited? Are you as excited as I am?
Not at all.
Actually,
is that your excitement level? Not at all.
Yes. So you are as excited as I am, I would hope.
I'm excited.
Which is,
I'm as excited as you.
Which is
I can't fucking wait.
0%. I'm going to avoid that playlist as hard as I avoid Spec Ops. So I mean, it could be like, I don't know. I don't like it. The visibility's bad enough in broad fucking daylight. Although maybe the sun not fucking shining in my eyes might be a nice little change, but I still don't think it'll be worth it.
It certainly could be, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, last note here, last little leak for this this game is we talked about the subway stations, which are portals to Cold War Warzone, by the way. That's a joke. I hope that's a joke. But anyways, the subway stations. Exclusive Ace in his video sounded incredibly confident that this was coming to the game. I tend to believe him. He's an insider. He knows a lot of shit. So he might be saying that from a more informed position than us peasants on the outside. But here is his map, his rendition of where he thinks, or where most think the subway stations will be in Verdansk. So they are all creating like a pentagram around downtown and hospital, basically. So the subway station does not go farther north than airport. It goes as south as Park. It goes as east as the ravine between Stadium and Lumber. And it goes as west as the train station. And then there are a couple little extra points along that perimeter.
It's a nice subway. I would take that in real life.
Okay.
It's a nice... You don't like it?
For sure going to keep that in mind.
You can go from airport all the way down to the park, see the ocean. I'm a big fan, dude.
Okay. How do you think this will play in the video game?
Terribly.
Terribly?
I don't know. I'm still not convinced is there actually going to be a subway underground? That's what I want to know. Or is it just the tunnels? Either way, if you can get underground and move around under people, I'm not pleased. So...
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Can you imagine it's final circle and you're like above ground like an asshole and these guys are just underground? They all have gas masks and they can just, I don't know. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I don't think it's going to work well at all. I don't want people underground. There's enough of a Z-axis in this shit game. I don't need people underneath me fucking my ass and on top of me fucking my ass. It's too much. It's too much. So that's not going to play well. I can guarantee that. But anyways, that is it for Modern Warfare. And now we're going to get into Cold War, which I am thrilled about. But first, real quick, let me give a couple shout outs here. Alan Boy with the gifted sub and the sub himself. Let's fucking go. Aussie Menace, 100 biddies. Let's go. The Clark Griswold, change it, with the sub. Thank you, dude. And Sal with the gifty boy. Let's fucking go. It's a lemur party. Boys, thank you. I appreciate the love and the support. And I hope you will join me in embarking on this journey into the 1980s.
Okay.
Black Ops, Call of Duty, Cold War. All right, let's get into it, boys. So yeah, as we've been alluding to, today was the multiplayer reveal of Black Ops Cold War. I've been working from home, so I was able to sort of watch it live while it was going on. Now, they did this at 10 a.m. Pacific time on a Wednesday because, as Ryan in the Discord, join the fucking Discord, so artfully put it, quote, Activision hates the working class, which is absolutely true. Why would you do this in the middle, literally the middle of the week at 10 a.m.?
There's more than one time zone in the world.
Okay.
I mean, only
care.
one time zone matters, and
Exactly.
it's ours.
Exactly.
So
Right. So Activision hates the working class, so they did their multiplayer reveal this morning at 10 a.m. Now, it started with, it was actually interesting, and I would recommend you guys watch it for more context, but we're going to kind of distill the important parts down and go into a little more detail than perhaps most did, and certainly than the stream did. But Vundy was talking about the fucking game and shit. It was pretty cool. They were talking about their design philosophy and stuff. A lot of pretty cut scenes. And then at the end of their like presentation, one of those guys was the worst public speaker I've ever seen, by the way. It was like he couldn't raise his arms above his like thigh. It was so awkward. He's doing hand gestures. He's doing hand gestures like right here. Like, yeah, you, yeah, I don't know. Take it over to you. It's like, move your arms, bro. You look so awkward. So I need to give that guy a lesson in public speaking and presentation because I'm a god at it.
that looks so awkward.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen. You should watch it. It's so bad. You'll immediately know who I'm talking about. It's so obvious. Probably a nice guy. He's a fucking level designer, fucking nerd, right? So of course.
Oh, so he was just super. Okay, he was just scared.
Oh, he's
He was
terrified.
nervous.
Oh,
Okay,
the most
yeah.
nervous. Yeah, that's
So
why he was
just
doing.
don't put him up there. He obviously didn't want to be up there, probably.
Yeah, he's a fucking level designer, dude. He's coding shit. He's not.
He
over
got
here.
into level.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, he got into level design because he doesn't want to talk to anybody. He wants to sit there on a computer.
Exactly.
Don't put him on a TV. Come
Exactly.
on, dude.
Exactly. So,
Poor
anyway,
guy.
notwithstanding, besides his his novice presentation skills, the presentation was actually pretty interesting and it was cool. So now with that said, we've combed through all of the information since then. And then after the presentation, by the way, a bunch of streamers were able to stream the actual gameplay. And it was like an alpha build, pre-beta, read a book. And they were all streaming it and they were like in lobbies with each other. It's like Symphony, Swag, fucking Tim the Tapman, others were like playing online, but it was like very small alpha of like 30 people max.
Were they all playing on different platforms?
A lot of them were. I think a couple were on PS4, a couple PS5.
Cool.
Sim was on PC, so yeah, it was cross-platform.
Yeah, because I noticed how fast the game looked on PC.
Yes, it looks a lot fucking better on Symphony screen because he has a PC. So, with that said, we learned a lot, needless to say. And now we will start with the create a class system. So, the create a class system actually surprised me a lot. And here's why it surprised me a lot. Here's why it surprised me. I was told it was going to combine Pick 10 with the classic create a class system. That is not true at all. It has actually nothing to do with the Pick 10 system. In no way can this be misconstrued as a pick 10 system. With that said, I'm pretty pleased with it, but we'll get into it. Let me tell you guys first. First of all, the gunsmith is coming back, which is genuinely fucking shocking. So you're guaranteed a primary and a secondary, and you're guaranteed 5 attachments on each one. And I think in the presentation, he said there are 54 attachments per weapon. Now, I don't know if he means up to 54, like as in 54 is the most, or if it's like every single one is exactly 54. I find that hard to believe. But these don't incur costs. You're guaranteed the 2 weapons, and you're guaranteed 5 attachments on each weapon. And they're calling it a gunsmith. And if there are 54 attachments, that means this is a very similar system to Modern Warfare. Now, we are on record saying we find this incredibly unlikely. But, I mean, I've been proven wrong on this issue. So we'll start here. Actually, wait. In addition to that, so here are a couple attachment slots for each weapon. I want to get all the creative class on the table, and then we're going to talk about it. Players can pick from the following slots: optic, muzzle, barrel, underbarrel, body. I'm not sure what body's going to mean. Stock, magazine, and handle is how those are the attachment slots. In addition, you have 1 tactical, such as a flash or a stun, and then 1 lethal, like a frag or a C4. All of this is guaranteed, in addition to 3 perks guaranteed from 3 different colors: blue, red, yellow, like an MW. 1 field upgrade, such as prox mine, etc. We're going to get into that more. And 1 wild card. 1 out of 4 wild cards so far. So you're guaranteed all of that stuff. And the way that it's kind of pick 10-ish is the wild cards. So some wild cards are going to give you like 8 attachment slots. I'll get into that right now, actually. So you're guaranteed all that stuff. Now, we went over the gunsmith attachments. Now let's go over the wild cards. Okay, so 4 wild cards in the alpha build. Now keep in mind, once the game comes out, there's probably going to be more shit. There's definitely going to be more guns. Yeah, there's definitely going to be more guns. There might be more attachments. There's probably going to be more perks. There's probably going to be more wild cards. But in the alpha build, so far, there are 4 wild cards. You can only use 1 wild card. Danger Close was wild card number 1. Equip an extra lethal and tactical equipment and start with max ammo. So extra means if you were running Danger Close, you would have 2 C4s and 2 stun grenades, for example. And you start with max ammo. Interesting. Next one's Lawbreaker. Equip any weapon in either slot and equip any perks. So this is like a combination of overkill and like perk gluttony or perk greed.
Because you can pick any 3 perks for that one, right? It doesn't have to be all in the same category.
Yes. Yeah, which I don't remember if that was gluttony or greed in BO4. Doesn't matter. But
Doesn't
yes.
matter.
So basically what this means is, okay, equip any weapon in either slot obviously just means like overkill. You can just use 2 primary weapons or 2 secondary weapons if you're dumb. And then equip any perks means you can still only use 3 perks, but they can all be the same color. So, for example, it's impossible to run, without Specialist, it's impossible to have EOD, Cold-Blooded, and Quick Fix, because they're all blue, even though that would only be 3 perks. That will also be impossible in this game unless you're running this wildcard. Next one, Gunfighter. Unlocks 3 additional attachment slots for your primary weapon. So instead of 8 attachment slots, you get, or excuse me, instead of 5, you get 8 attachment slots. And then perk Greed is different than Lawbreaker. Equip 3 extra perks. So it's not 3 of any perk. It's 6 total perks of any color, I would imagine. Those are the wild cards. And then lastly...
Those are all very good, by the way.
Those are all very good. So we're going to get into this, but I want to get everything on the table. Field upgrades. These were the ones that were in the alpha build. And by the way, field upgrades work on a cooldown that is unaffected by performance or score. So you get your field upgrade after 90 seconds or whatever the timer is going to be, period. If you're 0 and 30, 90 seconds. If you're 30 and 0, 90 seconds. The field upgrades that were in the alpha build were Prox Mine, recharge time 2 minutes. There we go. A SAM turret, which is like a kill streak, like a sentry gun. You just put it on the ground wherever, and it will automatically shoot missiles at enemy air score streaks. And the recharge time of this is 3 minutes, 45 seconds. A jammer creates an electronic disruption field, disabling enemy field upgrades and degrading enemy minimap information. This is kind of like, what was the perk? Doesn't matter. So that's one of the field upgrades. Recharge time, 2.5 minutes. And then Field Mic deploys a recording device that highlights enemy sounds on your minimap. So basically, it's like acoustic sensor, but it doesn't come with you. It's deployed somewhere. And the recharge time of that is 3 minutes, 15 seconds. Okay, so Tanner, we've got it all on the table. Overall, what are your thoughts on the creative class system and the loadout system so far?
It sounds absolutely perfect so far. I actually prefer it to what Modern Warfare has right now. The wild cards are a fantastic idea. The field upgrades sound interesting, but not overpowered, as Exclusive Ace posted some videos of those. I'm curious in the attachment slot what exactly body is going to do. That's very curious about that one.
I'm super curious. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, the wildcard idea, though, I absolutely love, especially Gunfighter and Perk Agreed. So Gunfighter, you know, if you already get a guaranteed 5, you can put 8 attachments on your primary weapon. So every single slot, you have an attachment for that you're using. That gun could be decked the fuck out.
Yep.
I mean, you know, you could run sleight of hand with an extended mag with, oh, dude, that could be nuts, actually.
I don't think perks are tied to weapons. I don't think
there's going to be like a sleight of hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Which
okay.
I like, by the way.
Yeah, no, I do too. I was just thinking MDub. Okay. Anyways, that's fantastic. Perk Greed equip 3 extra perks. Also fantastic. So I saw from the video the field upgrades, like the SAM turret wasn't overpowered. Like it took 2 missiles just to shoot down an enemy UAV. So it's good they didn't make them overpowered. But you know, if you're actually having the issue of enemy air support destroying you, if you have like 3 guys on your team throwing those down, like, you know, around the same time, then that could wreck their air superiority pretty hard. So that could be interesting.
And by the way, there are still rocket launchers as secondaries. So you can have a SAM turret in addition to doing it yourself the old-fashioned way.
Yes.
So we'll get into that.
And yeah, all in all, I am pleasantly surprised, actually. I think it all looks great in that sense so far. So I can't wait to learn more about that system exactly. And yeah, figure out how many weapon attachments you actually have access to, if that's for like every weapon, because that's pretty close to how it is in Modern Warfare, right? I mean, even
very close.
Pistols have a ton.
Very close, yeah.
Pistols have like minimum 30 to 40, right? So
yes, yeah, like 30ish, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be dope. Very pleased with that. I did not expect any of this. Like we said, I don't know who first came out with it. I swear it was like Charlie Intel that tweeted it was something to do like a hybrid pick 10 type thing, but
terrible description.
Nothing even close to being a pick 10 system.
It's
not even relatively close,
it's
which is a good thing.
Pick a wild card system. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it's literally pick every attachment you want for both of your guns because you get all of them.
Yeah. Right.
So
exactly.
Big fan of it. I love seeing this.
Okay, so let me start from the top here. First of all, gunsmith coming back. I like it. I do like it. I think it is very cool. And I'm shocked that it made it this year. Like, I'm really genuinely super surprised that the gunsmith is back in this game. I did not expect it to be in a Treyarch game. So that's cool. What's different about this gunsmith, by the way, Exclusive Ace was talking about this. In Modern Warfare, virtually every single attachment has pros and cons. In this game, a lot of the attachments are only pros. So, for example, you could put on like a laser, like a hipfire laser, And it just increases hipfire accuracy, and that's it. There's no downsides. Doesn't slow down your ADS or your movement speed or anything like that. And there are apparently a ton of attachments that are all upside with no downside, which is very good. There's also suppressors again, which means you don't appear on the minimap when you fire. That's the pro. And then the con is you lose 15% of your damage range. Here's another great thing that evolved with this gunsmith. Instead of giving you arbitrary stat bars that don't actually give you any reliable information, the stat bars here work on percentages, which is fantastic. Now, who said that might have been a good idea 6 months ago? Twitch.tv/Razinon, bitch. So,
Well, everybody
obviously,
did, but yeah.
Vunderhar is the anonymous cheerer from earlier because he obviously listens to the podcast.
Obviously.
I'm probably not the first person who had said that, but this makes so much more sense. Now it's just very clear. Hey, we're reducing 15% of the damage range. It's so simple. And they're doing that. Fantastic. So the gunsmith is very similar to Modern Warfare, and where Modern Warfare's is lacking, this one is better. I'm not sure I love a bunch of attachments with no downside, but I also don't dislike it either. I think I'm going to have to play the game a little more to kind of get a sense for that. But not bad. It's not bad. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me jump in and say one quick thing. According to Douglas, every primary weapon does have 54 attachments, and apparently each slot, so, you know, optic, barrel, stock, magazine, should have 6 attachments per, at least. So we should have 6 different handles, at least 6 different stocks, etc.
Okay. Okay, cool. Cool.
So that's a lot.
Yeah,
6
it's a lot
for each.
It's a lot. That's a lot. And it's great. That's good. That's good. So I like that so far. Wild cards. Okay. Oh, before that. What I don't like is everyone gets a lethal and a tactical. Not happy about this. Nade spam. Well, kind of. Okay. I don't like the nade spam. I don't like the tactical spam. And it's going to be a clusterfuck this game. But that's also been most Call of Duties. There's just lethals and tacticals everywhere. With that said, I was watching the alpha gameplay. Stuns do not rape your character like they do in this game. Have you seen this yet, Tanner?
I saw something, and it was so essentially nothing happened that I honestly wasn't sure what it was. Because I was like, was that a flash, a
They
stun?
might have had,
I mean,
like, battle hardened or whatever.
yeah, it
we'll
was on
get into.
Ace's video. I mean, he was stunned for a second. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's fantastic to see, especially because we went months into Modern Warfare with stuns being extremely difficult to turn and move on PC, but not being difficult to turn and move your character on a controller. Like that, months went by before they patched that. It still isn't as easy, but
yeah.
So that's great to see.
Yeah. So that's good. We'll still have to see how that is without like battle hardened or whatever, but it's definitely going to be better, which is good because the stuns are way too strong in this game, even with battle hardened. Okay, so moving on to the wild cards. Danger close, equip extra lethal and tactical. I fucking hate this. You certainly don't need 2 fucking C4s and 2 stuns. I don't like that. People are going to be running around with danger close, just fucking molly-whopping C4s on Nuketown, and it's just going to be an explosion clusterfuck, and you're going to have to run like the EOD perk or whatever it is. Flak Jacket, I think it's called in this game. Not a fan. Don't like it. Take this out. It's dumb. I hate it.
Yeah.
It doesn't take skill to fucking throw semtexes across maps and get lucky kills. I hate it. But anyways. Lawbreaker is overkill plus the any perks. Kind of weird that they combined those. I feel like I could definitely want one of them without having both. So it's odd to me that they combined them. Don't you think that's a weird combination to have? Like, I can easily see a class where I want overkill, but I do not want fucking perk greed or gluttony.
Yeah.
Gluttony. And I could see the inverse as well, where I want perk gluttony and I don't fucking want overkill, you know?
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. I don't know.
We're gonna
Some
have
of this
to
stuff
see,
just sounds weird until we actually play it.
and I think a lot of it will probably make more sense once the full game is released, because this wild card might make more sense compared to all the other wild cards. So then it's going to be like, oh, okay, I get why they combined them now because they did this thing here. So I think in full context, it might make more sense, but kind of weird, but not terrible. I'm not pissed about it. Gunfighter, unlock 3 additional attachment slots for your weapon, for your primary. Cool. That's fine. 5 attachments is so many that if you're just going to fucking throw 3 more on, why the fuck not? You know, I don't know. That's fine. I have no strong feelings about it. And then perk greed, an extra 3 perks. Great. Fine. That's fine. What it sounds like to me, like these 4 wild cards, you can only pick 1 wild card. So each of these 4 are pretty well balanced with each other. It sounds like. Like having 6 perks is really good. Having overkill is also really good. Having gunfighters also really good, which is 8 slots, 8 attachments. And then having an extra lethal and tack is really good. Those seem pretty fucking balanced compared to each other. You agree?
Nothing stands out as being overpowered compared to the next one.
Exactly.
They all just seem good in their own way to give you different options on how you're playing.
Yeah. They do seem pretty well balanced. So I'm pretty happy with that. Field upgrades here. Proxmine is a field upgrade. Okay, so Proxmine would always be a lethal in every game except this one. Why do you think they did a field upgrade for this one? And what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel. I don't know. Why would they put that as a field upgrade? I don't know. I don't think it'll really be used that much because I feel like there's going to be better field upgrades once we get the entire list, and it'll just be one of those that nobody uses anyways. I mean, I would never run it, especially if I have 2 C4s. What do I want a Proxmine for as well?
To be a real piece of shit.
Yeah, to be a real piece of shit.
But
Proxmines are so easy to get around. You just, once you play the game for 1 hour, you realize all you have to do is just dive to the floor and you don't get killed by it. So
yeah,
they're pretty easy to counter. It won't be an issue, I don't think.
Yeah, by the way, for the new frogs listening, I've said this before and people were surprised, so I'll say it again. Just so you know, if you come into a Proxmine and you hear it going up, if you prone, it will do no damage to you. Because the Proxmine comes up and then it explodes in a straight line horizontally at about chest level. So if you prone, the explosion happens above you and you take 0 damage. You just have to prone right away when you hear the Proxmine or see it, and you'll be totally safe. That's the case in every Call of Duty, including Modern Warfare, and probably almost certainly including this game. So in case you didn't know that, there's a little pro tip for you. So okay, that's kind of weird, but can be avoided by crouching. Okay, well it's written here, crouching or proning. I guess crouching works too. Destroys any vehicle that runs over it. I think that's probably the reason that this is a field upgrade, because they want people to be able to use like a frag grenade for like the infantry combat, but they want to also provide those same players with an option to kill tanks because vehicles are going to be a huge focus in this game.
That's also probably another fake news statement from Charlie Intel. Destroys any vehicle that runs over it. So if a tank runs over it or a snowmobile, it's going to blow them both up. I don't think so. I feel like that's not going to like destroy a tank or anything.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe. Good point. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But the thinking by Treyarch kind of makes more sense in light of that. Sam turret's cool. You covered that. Jammer creates an electronic disruption field, disabling enemy field upgrades and degrading enemy minimap information. Disabling enemy field upgrades. So it would disable Proxmines around you and SAM turrets. Jammer is going to depend entirely on what its radius is. Because I can't imagine the radius being very wide, in which case it's not going to do anything but scramble minimaps of people that are like quite close to you, which would be kind of useless. But if the radius is like good, then this is too good and shouldn't be that good. I feel like there's no radius that I would be happy with for this. It's either going to be too small and not worth using, or too large and fucking broken and everyone's minimap is scrambled. I feel like there's no way to have an acceptable radius for a field upgrade of this kind. What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds like one of those. I don't think I would ever really use it. It's going to be one of those things where there's always a better field upgrade. I think it isn't. I mean, how often do you really need to like disable a certain enemy field upgrade in that area? I don't know. Like you said, it's going to cover like a small area, I'm sure. So it doesn't sound like it'd be very useful most of the time.
Yeah. We'll have to see what the radius is, but not a huge fan of that. And then field mic. Deploy a recording device that highlights enemy sounds on your minimap. This can definitely be useful. I feel like this would be good for like search and destroy. You put this shit by the bomb site, and then you can like get some information on how far people are or if people are coming.
Yes.
But I feel almost exactly the same way about wildcards as I do about these field upgrades, except different. For the wild cards, they all seemed quite good and balanced with each other. For the field upgrades, they all seem quite bad and therefore balanced with each other.
Yeah. And I'm fine with them being bad.
Exactly.
You know, I would rather them be bad than all overpowered and annoying.
As long as they're all balanced with each other, I'm like pretty much happy.
Yeah.
And that's what it seems like to me. But so far from this list, I'm using fucking SAM turret. Just throw that bitch down when someone gets a UAV. Don't think about it again. And like, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just throw it and run.
Just set it and forget it, as they say. So, okay, cool. So, yeah, overall, the only thing I don't like so far is the lethal and tactical spam that we're going to see. Not excited about that. But if stuns aren't that bad, then that won't be the worst thing in the world. And then it's going to depend on explosive damage. Now, you brought up a good image. If you could pull that image up from Instagram, Tanner, I want to go over that with the pod listeners real quick. But basically, what was said by one of the... Who is this guy? He's a dev for Treyarch or Raven?
Are you just asking me to read it? Is that what you want me to do?
Sure, go ahead and read it. Who is this from?
He's a dev for Treyarch,
okay.
I think.
Tony
underscore flame.
Tony underscore flame.
So somebody asked a question about C4. So he said, thanks for your question. For C4, you can double tap square on PS4 to detonate at any time. That will initiate a quick left-hand detonate animation, and the C4 explodes when your avatar clicks it. This allows a brief counterplay window to C4 toss detonate attacks.
So what this translates to, in Modern Warfare, you can throw a C4, you double tap square if you're a console peasant, and it instantly blows up, no animation required. So you can be fully ADS'd as soon as you throw the C4 and then blow it up over there, and you're just like mowing down some other kid, no Maxwell. And that's fucking strong. Especially considering how powerful a C4 blast is in Modern Warfare. Now, this tweet tells us that while you can still double tap X, if you're a console peasant, to blow up the C4 faster than the normal throw the C4, press the lethal button again to pull out your trigger and detonate. That's the slow way. There's a faster way, which is to throw it and then do a little left-hand mini-det. But the fast way in Cold War is going to be quite a bit slower than the fast way in Modern Warfare. And since it's going to take one hand to do the animation, you can't be ADS'd while you do that. So you can't just throw a C4, ADS, start killing kids, and auto-detonate that one at the same time. You'll be able to hip fire while you do it, but you won't be able to be scoped. This nerfs C4s pretty hard. What are your thoughts, Tanner?
Again, I mean, I'm okay with that. You know, like we use C4s now, but it's because they're overpowered for all the reasons you just said. So, you know, I'm all for explosives being, can't really say harder to use, but just not as good as in some games, because explosives in general are an annoying feature. And at the end of the day, I would rather just have straight gunplay. So I think this balances it well. I'm expecting like from when you throw it, probably like not a long time. I'm thinking like a solid like second before you can detonate it, something like that. I mean, not like if that even.
If that, yeah.
I would say around a second, but I mean, yeah, in Modern Warfare, you could throw it, and when it's 2 feet away from your head, you can detonate it.
Yes.
It just left your hand.
You can kill yourself midair easily if you do it as soon as you can.
We do it all the time.
Okay, well, yeah.
So yeah, I'm okay with that, because there will be one explosive that's better than the other. So maybe this year it'll go back to the frag or the Semtex or something,
Yep. So
all of that sounds good. And yeah, it's just going to be different than what we're used to.
It's going to be different. And
I've been using a C4 for 10 months now, so.
You've been using C4 for like 15 years, haven't you? On and off?
No.
Okay, I'll keep that.
No, not in the old games.
Okay. So yeah, I like this a lot. I think C4s are fucking busted in Modern Warfare. The fact that you can insta detonate like that and it's such a strong fucking blast is really dumb. And exactly like the dev tweet. This is why I'm beginning to really like Treyarch and appreciate them.
Oh yeah.
He used the word counterplay. Wow, that's. When's the last time? Hey, does Infinity Ward even know what that word means? Do they even know what that word means? There are so many things with no counterplay in fucking MW 2019 Game of the Year edition. So I like this because in MW there really is not much counterplay to a C4 with an instant detonate like you can do. If I've very often watched a C4 come over a wall and I just throw my hands up and say, I'm fucking dead. There's not a goddamn thing I can do. But if it required an extra couple 100 milliseconds for them to detonate it, I could maybe run away, still take damage, but maybe survive, and then fucking snap on that kid like the demon on the keys that I am. This is good, and I like this, because C4s are way too OP in MW.
Yeah, it's also great just to see these devs replying to people. So, like, he went out of his way. This other guy didn't even tweet at him. I think he just heard the guy question it on a stream or something. So he tweeted at him saying, like, I heard you brought this up. Let me tell you this. Like, nobody asked him a direct question. He went out of his way to tell somebody that. So let's not give Infinity Ward no credit, because there were like 2 or maybe 3 devs like the first few months of this game that were very active on Twitter and responded to things. Unfortunately, one was just an art developer, so he couldn't change parts of the game.
Yeah, shout out to
Art
Art
and he
Peasant.
was fantastic, but he probably got shit on too much, which he's not the guy to shit on. He's doing art design, and he did a pretty good job for the most part. The high up decisions aren't his. He just did the art.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's hope Treyarch keeps this the entire game, because that'll be great. Actually having some transparency with the developers instead of having a community manager that only retweets patch notes that she wrote inconsistently and extremely terribly. So
shout out to Ashton Dub. Anyway, yeah, agreed on all of that. Real quick, a couple things here.
We go pee.
Okay, Walmart Shroud, 500 biddies. Let's fucking go. He said absolutely not changing it. I'll keep that in Walmart, by the way. I think I actually need to get glasses. But yeah, Walmart. Thank you, Walmart Shroud. I still think you should change it, but I appreciate the 500 bits, dude. Honored, humbled, and privileged. And Silent Murder with the Submarino, 4 months. Shit, I'm late again. Cheers, brothers. Last day of vacation. Damn. That sucks, dude. Well, I'm not on vacation at all, so maybe that'll make you feel better. And I appreciate you capping it off with the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast. Now, let's move on to the next little topic. This is something I am very pleased to report to you, my dear listeners and members of the small but vibrant and extremely humble community. And that is this. The standard fucking minimap returns in Black Ops Cold War. It's back. Yes, the standard minimap returns in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So there's an article here. Doesn't matter. I can very concisely sum this up for you. The mini-map that has been in every single Call of Duty game, except for our favorite, MW 2019, is coming back. It appears to be a circle in the top left corner of your screen that works as a mini-map. If enemies shoot their guns and they don't have an attachment, they will show up on the mini-map. If there's a UAV in the air or a spy plane, which is what it's now called, and the enemies don't have ghost and they're not moving, we'll get into it, they will appear as red dots on your mini-map. By the way, I don't know if I have the graphic. Perhaps Tanner has it. I suspect he doesn't. But someone did a comparison. I think it was JGod, showing the radius of the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War minimap compared to the MW minimap. And it is a lot fucking bigger, the Cold War one. This is all very good news. Very good news. Because I've talked about this ad nauseum on this podcast. I'm not going to rehash too much of it. But basically, when there is a minimap that works as it is, as it always has, that widens the skill gap because a smart player will be able to better predict spawns. They will be able to flank more effectively. They will be able to play against the flanks more effectively. It's just more information that you can use to your advantage to play well and to win games and to not be shot in the back. The standard minimap encourages gunfights and discourages getting shot from a corner by some dude you didn't know was there.
Yeah.
Which is not fun and exciting for the victim, but also not too fun and exciting for the dude camping a corner either. You might get a little hit of dopamine from seeing the pretty lights on your screen from getting a kill, your second kill of the match 10 minutes in, but it's not actually that fun. And that mechanic that enables that kind of shit is gone, and the minimap is back. We pretty much knew this, but now it is 100% confirmed. Tanner, your thoughts?
Oh, well, hey, we shouldn't even be discussing this because it should have never not been included in this game. This shouldn't even be a topic, right? So it's in the game. It's fantastic. It's the way it should be. It's the way every Call of Duty should be. I don't know why Modern Warfare tried to take it out. I'm very excited to have it back.
I could not agree more.
I have gotten used to not staring at the minimap at red dots, so
Interesting.
I'll have to get used to looking at that again, because as of now, I don't ever look at it.
Yeah.
Actually, so
we'll keep that in mind.
That combined with the not great sound in Modern Warfare makes things a little difficult.
Have you seen anything about the sound in this game? I watched Noisy Butters streaming, and she said, "Oh, it's so nice to be able to hear people," which was her taking a shot at MW. So the sound might be better in this game. Wouldn't surprise me, by the way. Pretty low bar to pass. Have you heard anything about this?
I heard some things about this game's version of Dead Silence, but I figured I'll save that for when we discuss the perks.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Okay, so yeah, the standard minimap is back, and we are thrilled about it. Huge fucking W. One of the very big problems with this steaming pile of shit game, MW 2019, that will be ameliorated next year, so that is good. And now, another fun, a little more in-depth topic here. Known maps, weapons, perks, and equipment in Black Ops Cold War. Okay, so here, these are obviously all from the alpha, the gameplay we saw today. The maps are names of maps. I will read them. They should mean nothing to you. Armada, Crossroads, Miami, Satellite, and Moscow. Their maps. We'll get into that a little bit more momentarily. But they appeared largely fine. Hard to tell without playing them, I would say. But we'll talk about that a little more later. But now for the weapons. Primary weapons. XM4. Is that an M4, Tanner?
I believe that's the game's version of the M4, yes.
It looks like it. So The Krig 6, what is
Yes.
that?
Don't know.
Okay. AK-47.
Know what that is.
We all know what that is. No Call of Duty would be complete without an AK, so that's good. There's going to be more weapons in this, by the way, guys, but this is what was in the alpha. SMGs, MP5. We know that what that gun is, too. Type 821. Tanner? Do we know
Don't
what
know.
that is? Okay.
It is an SMG.
It's an SMG, yes.
I think it's the one that's similar to an Uzi, maybe.
Okay. Okay. And then the AK-74U, which is another
yeah.
Call of Duty classic. Everyone was saying, by the way, that in the alpha, the AK-74U is like insanely OP.
Yes, I did hear that.
That will definitely be patched, though. There's no way it's going to be that OP. So, tactical rifles. M16, which is a burst fire weapon. I don't know how good it is yet. Might not be great, but we'll see. And then the Type 63. What is a Type 63, Tanner? Do you know?
Nope.
Okay. What I'm assuming this, based on the M16 being a burst weapon, I'm assuming the Type 63 is either burst fire or semi-auto, and that's the reason it's called a tactical rifle. That would be my guess.
It looks like it's a Chinese version of an SKS, essentially.
Okay.
It uses the same bolt type from an AK-47.
Okay.
Bolts, yeah.
I'm 90% sure that probably means the Type 63 is like a FAL, like a semi-auto.
It's not going to be burst, I don't think. It's like a SKS variant.
Semi-auto, yep. And then LMGs, the RPD, which is like an RPK. It's like an AK LMG, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Stoner 63. I know this is a classic, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what this one was in the old games.
Okay.
I think it's the one with like the magazine coming off the top, isn't it?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But anyway.
It's an LMG, so don't care.
And then sniper rifles, the LW3 Tundra, change it. Do you know what this is?
No.
Okay. And then the Pellington 703. Do you know what this is?
I think that's similar like Remington 700 probably.
And what is that?
A bolt action sniper rifle. The standard bolt action sniper rifle.
Just a sniper. Okay.
I think the LW3 Tundra is similar to like an op in Counter-Strike.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind for sure.
Like a L96, I think is the other name for it.
Would that be semi-auto or bolt?
No, bolt action.
Okay. And then secondary weapons, we have the 1911 pistol, classic. The Diamatti pistol, which is like a Raffica 3-round burst pistol.
Okay.
Shotguns, the Hauer 77. Okay. And the Gallo SA-12. I think SA means semi-automatic 12, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what it means, but it's semi-automatic. I know that.
Okay. Well,
It's a
AA-12
SPAS.
is like automatic. I don't know. Oh, it's
Yeah.
a SPAS 12,
Yeah.
basically? Okay. What about the Hauer 77? We have no intel on this, on what this is?
I don't know.
Doesn't
No.
matter. And then one launcher, the Sigma 2. Okay, so looking at this list of weapons, Tanner, well, let's stop here and talk about it for a second. What are your thoughts?
Everything sounds balanced. So let's go through the primaries. I'm happy to have an AK that I hope is going to be good in this game.
We'll fucking see, yeah.
AK-74, I'm very excited for as well. AK-47, AK-74 were my two favorite guns from Call of Duty 4. So I'm excited to see both of those in this game. Like you were saying, the 74U is apparently just extremely overpowered. So it's not going to be that way for the full release.
Absolutely.
We know
not,
that.
Yeah.
M16 bursts will be interesting to see just because burst rifles like the Swordfish in Black Ops 4 were very good. So if these are anything like they were in BO4, those could be really fun to use. The sniper, I'm excited that they're two bolt action snipers we're getting right off the rip. So not really much to say about that. The main thing I have when it comes to secondaries is shotguns or secondaries, which I'm not pleased about. That's like the worst thing they could have done when it comes to, like weapon slots like that. I think that's a terrible change, especially without. So I would be fine if that was in a pick 10 system.
Yes.
but it's not.
Yes.
So now you're going to have somebody with an 8 attachment AK-74U running around with an SPAS 12 with 5 attachments on it.
Yes.
And they're going to be fucking your ass.
Yes.
The entire time.
Yes. Yes.
So that's not going to be great. Again, we haven't played it, but I'm struggling to see why you would even run a pistol as a secondary versus like a shotgun.
Yep.
I mean, other than like the movement speed, if they put the shotgun movement speed and make it like super low, like running around with a rocket launcher, then it'd be fine. But they're not going to do that. We know they're not going to do that.
Absolutely not.
You're going to be able to run around the map, slide around the map, blast me in my rear end with your dead silence SPAS 12, switch to your 74U and spray down 3 other guys who are looking the other direction because you have dead silence.
Yes.
So I'm not excited about that. Because yeah, I think everyone is going to be using shotguns. So if they nerf the hell out of them, it would be okay. But they never do that because it's like if you're going to have shotguns in the game, you can't just nerf them to hell. Otherwise, there's no point in even putting them in the game, which I would rather them not be in the game. But it's like what they do is do a lot of damage up close. So that's how they make it work in video games. So they're going to be overpowered up close like they always are. And I'm not looking forward to that part at all.
Yeah. Yep. You hit the nail on the head with me there. If you're going to allow every secondary to have 5 attachments, then a SPAS 12 is going to be fucking nasty, dude. There's a couple other ways they could maybe balance it. Number 1, if you weapon swap to a shotgun and it's fucking slow, that's another way they could balance it and another reason why you might want to run a pistol. Maybe. Did you want to say something?
No.
Okay. Would it be enough? No, of course not. So I'm very upset that shotguns are secondaries in this game because I am also struggling to find a reason why the fuck you would run a pistol if you can have a SPAS 12 with fucking 5 attachments. Put a long barrel on that bitch, no stock, laser, just rapaciously just running through kids.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to be running around with a shotgun.
Oh, of course. Of course. Yeah. We have no choice because shotguns are good. And that's the problem. So I don't know why the fuck anyone would run a pistol. The only other way I could see them balancing this is like pistols having really good range. So their damage fall off range is like very good.
Yeah.
Are they going to do that? Press X to doubt and insert the PS4 meme here. Huge doubt. But
agreed.
Maybe they can balance this somehow. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not happy about shotguns being secondaries. But for all the reasons Tanner said. And also only one launcher. Do we know if this is free fire and lock on or if it's only lock on?
It's both.
It's both. Okay, good. That might mean this is the only launcher, which would be good. I don't want a fucking RPG. I don't know how much splash damage this does to people, but I'm hoping it's not great. And I would be happy with the launchers in that case.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We'll see. They'll probably add more in.
Yeah. Well, maybe not, dude. The last Black Ops game only had one launcher, and it was free fire and lock. So maybe this is the only launcher. It's possible.
It's possible. It's not going to happen.
Okay. We'll see.
Okay.
But yes, I am. Other than that, I mean, I'm fine with this. This isn't a complete list of weapons. Whatever. I have nothing really to say about the primaries. There are weapons, and there's going to be more. That's unsurprising.
Yeah, there are primaries.
There are primaries. So let's move on to the perks here. Perk 1. Here are the available options. Again, there are going to be more. Perk 1. Engineer. Detect enemy equipment and score streaks through walls. Just like it is in this game. Tac Mask. Maximize resistance to flashing and stun grenades. And immune to gas. So apparently there's going to be gas grenades. Which aren't in the game yet. Unless Charlie Intel's writing a fake news article here. Which is possible.
Interesting.
They've done it before. Flak Jacket. Take less damage from enemy explosives and Molotov fires. Again, I guess we just learned there are also Molotovs in this game. Not a big deal. So those are all in the perk 1 slot. You can only run one of those unless you're running that wild card that allows you to use any 3 perks. Perk 2, Scavenger, is Scavenger, replenish ammo from fallen players. Quartermaster, recharge equipment over 25 seconds, just like Restock in this game. And Tracker, see imprint of enemy footsteps. Aim at enemies to reveal them on your team's minimap. Ooh, that's interesting. That's super interesting. So it's kind of like a recon drone effect if you have the perk and you just aim at people. Now, I'm struggling to find how that's super relevant, because if I can aim at you, I'll just shoot you. Why would I need to mark you? But
No.
let's move on. Perk 3.
You'll miss.
Fake news. Perk 3. I have a controller on Amazon on order. Cold-blooded. AI-controlled score streaks will not target you. Player-controlled score streaks will not highlight you. You show up cold on thermals, and players and vehicles won't see your nameplates. Pretty standard. The vehicle thing's a new addition, which is interesting. Ghost. Undetectable by enemy spy planes whenever you're moving, planting, or defusing bombs, or controlling a score streak yourself. Very interesting. And then Ninja. Sprint more quietly, resistant, but not immune to the field mic field upgrade. Tanner, your thoughts?
Okay, so let's go through perk 1 slot. Engineer sounds worthless, usually is. Flak Jacket, my guess, is going to be the best one from perk 1, which is take less damage from explosives, which it seems like there's going to be a lot of explosives in this game. So I think that'll be the best one to run. Perk 2, Restock, is sounding very good.
Quartermaster.
Yes, which is called Quartermaster in this game. Yeah, Tracker, the thing where you can aim at the enemy to reveal them is interesting. So, I mean, I guess if you're in a firefight and you're sighted up, aiming at them, if you lose that firefight, they're going to be on the map for your team.
The mini-map
to hopefully
only,
get the kill.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that.
It's cool.
That could be interesting. So the big ones are in perk 3. So Cold-Blooded, Ghost, and Ninja. So Ghost, I love that they changed it back to you have to be moving. That's a fantastic change. I mean, like we've said a bunch of times before, Ghost is way too strong in Modern Warfare. And I'm glad they put it back this way again. That'll cut back on camping a lot. So it's pretty much going to be between Ghost and Ninja, which is this game's version of Dead Silence. And this is what I wanted to talk about earlier, is I heard a few people say, primarily one came from Exclusive Ace in one of his videos. He was saying that Ninja is not as quiet as Dead Silence, which I love. So if it's not exactly like Dead Silence and it just cuts the sound by, say, I think they said it was like 75% or something. I'm okay with that if I can still hear some sort of footstep. If it's just nothing, though, and I get ran up and stabbed from behind, I'm going to rage 4 times a game. So what he was saying, though, is he was running up on players and getting turned on often because they were hearing him. And he also said that there were players on the other team that he could hear their footsteps still rather easily when they were running Ninja. So I'm almost wondering if it's almost bugged right now, if they're going to end up lowering that volume down. Because, like, let's be honest, all those guys that went to the multiplayer reveal thing, they probably all want Dead Silence in the game. Because most of them are like those lifelong controller Call of Duty players, which that's like the one perk they love for some unknown reason, or they're CDL kiddies who want Dead Silence. So I'm okay with this perk if their footsteps are not absolutely dead silent. So it sounds promising so far. I'm a big fan of that. I want to be able to hear their footsteps. So I'm excited about that, because I was not looking forward to that, having Dead Silence back. So this sounds like a good in-between, and I hope nothing gets changed with that. I'm super interested to play that part and, you know, see how that plays out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ghost is a big change, and so far Ninja's sounding pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, so a couple thoughts for me in addition. Tac Mask and Flak Jacket in the same slot. Not super sure about that one. Normally, but not always. If I want Flak Jacket, I want Tac Mask. Not the end of the world, though, so that's fine.
But like you said, in the video you saw, stuns didn't seem to do a whole lot.
Yes, true. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say next is whether or not I'm going to run Tac Mask versus Flak Jacket is going to depend on how strong stuns are without Tactical Mask. Because if they're not that bad, even without Tac Mask, then I'll probably just run Flak Jacket.
Yeah.
You know, but it's going to depend on that. So I'm not thrilled, but it might not be a big deal. Perk 2 is all fun. Perk 3, Cold-Blooded is cool. It's just like normal, perfectly balanced in my opinion. Players and vehicles won't see your nameplates. I like that too. I like the option to be as like invisible to like enemy fucking vehicle frogs as I possibly can be. Ghost, a couple additional points on Ghost. So if you're moving, planting, diffusing, or controlling a score streak, you're not on the mini map if there's a spy plane up. Okay. However, there's also like a 3-second grace period. So it's not like Black Ops 4. In Black Ops 4 with Ghost, you literally had to be sprinting or else you would appear on the minimap. You couldn't stop for even a second. In this game, there's like a 3-second grace period where if you have Ghost and there's a spy plane and you're running and then you stop for up to 3 seconds to reload or get a kill, you're still going to not appear on the minimap. But if you stay still any longer than 3 seconds, then you will continue to appear on the minimap. I think that's a great compromise. And I think this is a good way to balance Ghost to make it worth running, but to also not make it super overpowered. So I really like, in theory, how Ghost is going to be handled. But of course, we'll have to see how it works in practice to get a final verdict on that. And really on anything. But so far, I like what they've done with Ghost. Ninja, okay, another thing. Ace was saying that how loud you are is entirely dependent on how fast you're moving. So if you're crouching and you're moving at 50% movement speed, or if you're walking at 50% movement speed, the volume that you're making is exactly the same, which is interesting. So then Ninja will, so miles per hour. So if I'm crouching and I'm walking 6 miles an hour, and if I'm standing and walking 6 miles an hour, I make the same amount of noise. Noise is directly tied to how quickly you're moving. I think that's reasonable. It's probably how real life works. Ninja, sprint more quietly, resistant to field mic. Someone in my chat was saying that it might be immune to field mic. If that's true, not happy with that at all. It should be like you're detected way closer, but you shouldn't be totally immune to it. That's crazy if that's true. I don't like that. And then sprint more quietly. It's going to depend on how quiet, honestly. But another thing too is that audio cues are going to be less important and you're going to have to rely on them less often in this game than you do in Modern Warfare, because Modern Warfare doesn't have the standard minimap. Its minimap has a smaller radius. So it's just not, you can rely on other things like the minimap a lot more in this game, which means Dead Silence or Ninja is going to be not as good in this game as it is in Modern Warfare.
Do we know yet, is the radius on the minimap actually bigger in this game? Is that confirmed?
It is all but confirmed, yes.
Okay. So you could tell from the gameplay, you could see a lot.
I think JGod tweeted an image comparing the two. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm very confident.
Very nice.
Yeah. I'm not 100%, cool. But I'm very confident. So yeah. So that's good. Okay. And then lastly, equipment. Not much to say here. We have smoke and stun for tacticals so far, and then C4 and frag for lethals. I mean, nothing really to say on that, Tanner.
No. Oh, absolutely nothing to say.
Yeah. So that's pretty standard and unsurprising. Yeah. So we'll keep that in mind.
Super unsurprising.
Yeah. Silent murder with the gifty boy. Let's fucking go. Thank you, brother. Honored, humbled, and of course, privileged. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, now let's move on here. What else do we have? Okay, Black Ops Cold War score streak system explained. This is going to take some analysis. So let me take a nice swig of my water. Ah.
Yeah, this is still going to be difficult for me to understand because I haven't read into it too much. So I'm going to need you to explain it to me as well.
Well, brother, I got your back. Okay, so score streaks are back in Black Ops Cold War, but it's not the same as before. So there is a lot of description. Here's Treyarch's official description. A dynamic and rewarding score streak system means score is no longer lost on death. And you'll earn score multipliers for stringing together multiple kills in the same life. You'll also earn score for helping your team to play the objective. And each score streak goes on a cooldown after it's used to prevent spamming. Okay, so when I first heard this, I was blood red mad, fucking furious, because I thought, wow, this really, like, it rewards shit players, doesn't reward good players. Now, the more I've learned about it since then, I don't feel that way anymore. So a little more detail. Exclusive Ace broke it down nicely. He said, quote, "You still need to go on fairly high streaks to gain the score multipliers if you want a shot at the higher end streaks. For example, a chopper gunner in domination can be earned in one single life if you get 15 kills in that life, because you're getting the multiplying effect. But it would take 20 individual lives if you got a 3 kill streak in each life, if you were dying every 3 kills. So if you're not getting if you're not getting a high multiplier and you get 23 kill streaks, which is 60 kills, you would get a chopper gunner. Or you could get a chopper gunner with only 15 kills, which is, by the way, 25% of the kills, a lot fewer, as long as you're not dying. So if you really want to get those super high streaks in a match, you have to get big multipliers, which means you basically have to get kill streaks. So
I have a question real quick.
Go ahead.
So they're calling it score streaks. He's using the word kill streaks.
He means
Do you get... He means score streaks.
Finish your question, though, sorry.
But he said 15 kills. So kills and capping objectives is counting towards that total score.
Correct.
That'll net you that. So he was just using that as an example if you got 0 points for anything else but 15 kills.
The multiplying effect, I think, only happens with kills. So for example, I'll put it this way. My first kill will get me 50 points, and I need 5,000 for a chopper gunner. Let's just say these are fake numbers, but I'm illustrating a point.
Okay.
So I need 5,000 score for a chopper gunner. My first kill will get me 50 points. If I don't die and I get another kill, then I'll get 60 points. And then if I don't die and I get another kill, and I get 70 points. So by the time I reach my 17th kill, that one kill, if I haven't died up until 17, that 17th kill will get me like 1,000 points for one kill. And then as soon as I die, my next kill only gives me 15 or 50 points.
Got it. Okay.
So even though the score streak doesn't reset on death, you still have just as much progress. You've lost the multiplication effect, and that's going to make it harder, if not impossible, to get your score streak, depending on what score streaks you have set. And I think, again, the 60 versus 15 kills is a very good illustration of what of how that's going to work. You're just not going to get a chopper gunner, even if you're just not going to get a chopper gunner in a game if you go 5 and 15. It's just not happening. And even you're not going to get a chopper gunner in a game if you go 60 and 50, because you still won't have gotten enough of the multiplication effect to get the chopper gunner. You have to get a pretty high multiplier to be even in the ballpark of getting enough score to get one of these streaks.
Okay. I'm understanding it now. I get it. Okay.
So there's a couple other tweets here. These are from Charlie Intel, who also played the alpha. Score streaks not resetting on death is not that big of a deal once you see how many kills it actually takes to get some of the higher streaks. It's not just a spam of high streaks constantly. Even though score streaks do not reset on death, the games we played did not feel like there was a spam of them on the map. You have to get multiple kills in a row for it to chain and earn faster. Faster. The cooldown timers are quite long too, and they vary based on each streak. So, very new system. Nothing even close to this we've ever had before.
Yeah.
And it's hard to really describe what it's like without having played ourselves. But what are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, when I first heard about this, when they said it continued after your deaths, I was so confused, dude. I was like, what does that even mean? So I wasn't happy, but now that I've seen numerous people saying the same thing, that it's not just like you can play an entire round and get 12 kills and end up with a chopper gunner. Yeah, so that's confirmed that's not going to happen. So that's good news. I'm more just like this, like you said, the system sounds okay. We just need to actually physically play it to see how it plays. But I'm kind of just struggling to understand why they even needed to make this change. Like, I don't think it's gonna hurt campers anymore. I don't think it's gonna reward objective players anymore necessarily. If anything, it seems like it rewards going on higher kill streaks.
Yes.
But I don't know. It's just kind of strange overall. It sounds like a confusing system to even implement, and I'm just curious as to why they even had to change this. It just seems like one of those things, like with Modern Warfare this year. It's like, oh, why'd you change the minimap? It's like, what was the point of doing that?
Okay.
So it doesn't necessarily sound bad how it currently is. I'm just not understanding why they needed to do this.
Okay.
And we'll definitely learn more as we play it, like as to how many points you actually get for capping kills, like what the chains end up being at a certain amount of kills, etc. So
yeah. So, okay. I think I can answer that. So first of all, the obvious, score streaks instead of kill streaks, big win. I like that. I don't know if we learned if they're loopable in one life.
yeah.
That remains to be seen, to my knowledge. But, well, of course they're loopable. They must be loopable. I'm pretty confident. Doesn't matter. So, I think this is pretty... okay, score streaks, first of all. Yeah, score streaks instead of kill streaks, good. Because it rewards, like you said, playing objective. Capping points, getting assists will get you some benefit towards your score streak. But number one, you won't get the multiplication effect, which is good for an assist. And number two, even if the multiplication effect didn't exist, you don't get as much score for an assist as a kill. These are both great, and these are things I was talking about that I liked. Now on to the multiplication system. Quick maths. Times tables. I'm dumb. I think this is really cool because, like you said, you're still required to get high kill streaks to get the reward of a good score streak, like a chopper gunner. You still have to go on streaks to get that. There's just not enough time for you to not go on a streak and get it. That is great. So it still rewards players for doing well. However, it also means that the guy in the lobby who goes 0.7 can still get his UAV in that game, because some streaks, you're not going to really need a multiplier effect. You just need to be doing enough to where you can get something. And even if you're dying a fuck ton, you can still get rewarded somehow. So it's kind of like they are catering to new players or less skilled players by guaranteeing them, not guaranteeing, but oftentimes giving them a streak that's not very powerful, but it's still something. And at the same time, they're gatekeeping the really good streaks and requiring you to be good to get those good streaks. It kind of, on paper, appears to me to be a very, very, very good compromise where you reward skilled players not at the expense of, not not exactly at the expense of lower skilled players. And you still cater to lower skilled players without ruining your high skilled players' playing experience. I think it's fucking great on paper. Now, obviously, I have to play it to get a better sense for it, but I'm a big fan so far from what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Another thought I had, which doesn't really matter a whole lot, but I'm wondering, so now it's obvious we know, okay, I need, let's say I have 7 kills, so I need 1 more kill to get my VTOL, right? And I know that. So I just need to kill 1 guy and I know I have it. In, say, Black Ops 4, I knew the points, it was this many points for capping a flag. So like, okay, I capped this flag real quick, I have this streak. So I'm just wondering if this is going to be some confusing system where it's almost like, oh, I'm close to my streak, but like I need 150 points, but I don't know how many kills that is because it's like chaining up as I go up. Yeah. And I don't know how that's going to combine with capping a flag. That's the only thing I'm kind of wondering, like, it'd be kind of weird. I mean, it'd be something you would learn, but it almost sounds like something that could be a little difficult to learn and get the hang of like knowing when your next streak is coming.
That's a good point.
And I'm wondering if that would make people play slower because they're like, oh, like I'm close to this streak, but like I don't know how close. So I'm going to camp here, get this kill, and then see how many points off I am or something weird. I don't know.
But if it was a traditional system and you were 1 off your chopper gunner, you would still play slow, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I don't. Okay. But yeah.
We'll keep that in mind for sure. But yeah, it's going to be weird. I see your point. I think we'll learn it though. I don't know if it's actually multiplicative or additive. If it's multiplicative, it's going to be very difficult though. Because if it's like 50 and then it's like you multiply the total you get per kill times like 1.1 per, it's going to get confusing real fast. Because it would be 50 and then it would be 50 10%, 55, and then it would be 55 times 1.1 is like what? 60.5.
Too much math.
60.5 points. And then, so that's kind of a yikes. I hope they don't mean mathematically multiplicative. I hope they mean additive, but within the same life. But that's too complicated to explain, so I guess multiplicative makes sense for them to say. But I think it's probably going to be just like every kill after your first one, you get 10 extra points per kill or something like that. That's my guess, because multiplicative actually would get very complicated.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Again, yeah, it's not that important. It's just a little thing I thought of that I'm like, that could get kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like the shit players could get very confused by that. But I guess if they're rolling over for them because they're dying so often, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So it's going to be interesting. But I mean, again, of course, we're going to have to play it. But how it sounds like a great way to compromise. And I like that. I like that. So
Call of Duty has been doing a lot of different things the last couple of years. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
They've really strayed away from the traditional, typical Call of Duty game.
Absolutely.
As much as people hate it, they are probably right that change needs to happen. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. But they've returned to their roots, as we've already seen in a lot of important ways. The minimap being the main one, which I'm very happy about. My main things so far are the minimap and Ghost. Those are 2 things I'm very happy with. Yes, Ghost too. Yeah, for sure. There's other things I'm very happy about, but we haven't gotten to them yet. But we'll get there. So next step here, new mode, VIP introduced. Okay, so this is something I'll never fucking play, and we actually don't even.
Well,
okay, let's get into it.
We can just.
So it's 6v6. It takes place on medium to large maps. I don't need to read the article. I know how this is. So basically, there's 2 teams of 6 at random, 1 person on 1 team. I think it's just on 1 team, right? Like you switch sides?
Yeah, 1 person is protecting, 1 is trying to extract.
Yeah, okay. So 1 player on the okay. So 6 people on 6 people on the attacking team, 6 people on the defending team. the attackers, one of them randomly is chosen to be the VIP. If you're the VIP, you only have a pistol. And I think you have other things as well, but you don't have like your primary gun. You just have a pistol. And it's a no respawn mode. And you, as the attacking team, are trying to get your VIP to one of 2 extraction points on like the other side of the map. And the defenders are trying to kill the VIP. And once he's dead, then the round is over and the defenders win. Or if the attacker gets to one of these 2 exfiltration spots, read a book, then the attackers win the round. In addition, there is a downed and res mechanic in this game mode. So you don't just die like in multiplayer, but you get downed, and then you can get shot more while you're down to be dead. That is the case for attackers and defenders. And that means there's also reses. Obviously, your teammates can res you. Similar to like cyber attack. Very similar to cyber attack. Yeah. So there's resing, there's downing, which is interesting. I would expect to see that in more play modes than one, by the way. So this down resing thing is coming back in other game types 100%. They would not code all this in for fucking one playlist called VIP. So keep that in mind. But also, this is a playlist, and it is new as far as I can tell. Tanner, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it sounds like something we're not going to play. So, I mean, the VIP can move around wherever they want. So it's like, okay. Because I was trying to think if it's similar to Safeguard at all in BO4, but it's not at all, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like a mode I'm not ever going to play. So I really don't care. Like you're saying, though, I think the biggest thing to take away with this is the fact that you can be downed. You can move around while you're downed. You can get rezzed. So there are for sure going to be a bunch of other game modes that have that. So there'll probably be something like cyber attack, different modes that are similar. But I don't know. I'm not interested in this at all.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like the fact that it says it's on medium to large maps.
That's weird too. That's what I was thinking.
Because it's going to be 6 versus 6 on large maps. I'm interested to see what a large is considered. I mean, is it going to be like Grozna raid sized? 6v6
God,
VIP?
I hope not.
Because I feel like you could escort the VIP and get him extracted without ever seeing an enemy if you do that correctly, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to depend a lot on the maps, but yeah. I don't know. I don't care.
I don't know. It's kind of something we've talked about before is I don't like having too many multiplayer game modes because especially with Warzone out, too many game modes just takes away, it splits the player base too much. So I hope this isn't going to be another one of those things where it's like nobody's playing domination or game modes like that because they're playing shit like VIP escort, you know? That's my worry. Is that multiplayer is going to be split way too much again. And it's going to be hard to find lobbies for game modes that we want to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's cross-platform and shit. I don't think that would be the problem, but I agree that it is a problem not because of the player base being split, but because of development resources being split. So if you have VIP and fucking Dom and Warzone and Ground War and whatever the fuck else, then it's like there's a lot of shit for the devs to like keep up with, which I'm not a fan of. So yeah. I don't know. I understand why they did this and I'm not mad about it. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm never going to fucking play this. But it sounds like it would be fun, I guess.
Well, it's going to be the only game mode in the beta, so we're for sure playing it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's going to be that and Ground War.
Yeah. So anyways, next up here is Combined Arms Domination is a new play mode, kind of. It is basically Ground War, except 12v12 instead of 30,000 versus 30,000. It is a multiplayer mode that takes place on pretty big maps. I don't know if there's 5 points or just 3. I think it's still just 3 points.
It's still 3 from what I saw,
so it's basically Dom on a bigger map, and it's 12 versus 12, and there's vehicles. One of the maps that was in the alpha, I forget the name of it, is it's like between like 2 aircraft carriers where you can zip line across them.
Yep.
And then there's also like speedboats with guns on them.
There sure are.
And it looks pretty cool. One of the things I liked about this map is that it's very easy to avoid the vehicles because there's no vehicles on the fucking ship. They're in the water between ships. So, hey, don't go swimming and you'll be fine. So that's a good feature of a map. If there has to be vehicles that shoot things, make them avoidable. That was cool. Yes. So this looked interesting, cool, fun, exciting, whatever. My question is, do you think this precludes ground war 64 v 64 or 32 v 32? 32 v 32. Do you think that mode will not be coming since they've included a 12 v 12? Would it be awkward to have 12 v 12 and 32 v 32 playlists?
So I was just going to ask you that because I wasn't sure. To me, this sounds like 10 v 10 is gone and ground war is gone, and it's combining both of them into 12 versus 12, which I'm not happy about, to be honest. Like 12 versus 12 with tanks? I mean, if I only have 11 other teammates and say like 2 or 3 of them are in vehicles, it's like, okay.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Okay.
It's going to depend on the density of vehicles, but yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and I already, Ace had gameplay on that as well, and he did not seem happy with the tanks. He said, as you would expect, they were super tanky, pretty hard to destroy, did a lot of damage, and very annoying. So, yeah, I'm not happy if that's, if traditional ground war is gone. I'm not going to be happy at all, because I'm fine with ground war, and I understand there's going to be vehicles in it, because that's just the way Call of Duty has transitioned now. I mean, hey, I don't want the vehicles in there, but I'm expecting it now. But to have vehicles in 12 versus 12, if that's the only game mode, that's going to be dog shit. And I know a lot of people are not going to be pleased about that.
Yep.
And so we've talked about this a lot, but my guess is the reason Call of Duty is doing this is because they see there's something missing with the Battlefield franchise, because that franchise is absolutely tanked the last like 3 or 4 years. It's in the shitter. It couldn't be any worse than it is now. It used to be a great game. And I think Call of Duty has, obviously they've noticed that, and that's why they're adding in all these vehicles and game modes and maps with like zip lines that you're in the water. Like, that's all Battlefield stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that there's actual tanks now, I think they're trying to take that Battlefield franchise and just bury it, right? And just destroy it, and it's done.
I think so.
So, 12v12 Dawn with vehicles, not excited for.
Interesting.
Unless there's a regular ground war. If there's a regular ground war, I won't care, because I'm not going to ever play 12 then.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know. It's going to depend on how many vehicles there are and how oppressive they are, I think. Right now, tanks are like super fucking tanky, as you said, which is not great. They might tune that. This is an alpha build, so things are subject to change. If tanks get less strong or have less health, that's good. So I'm going to have to kind of wait and see. But yeah, I have mixed feelings, and I really won't be able to tell you until I play it myself. But it's interesting. I'm mainly not concerned, but I'm mainly curious if this does mean there's no more ground, like if this is the most players in a multiplayer lobby.
Yeah.
Like if there's not going to be a 32v32 anymore. That would be interesting. Not terribly surprising though. It wouldn't be terribly surprising. So we'll see, but that's interesting. Up next here, control mode also returns. Do we know what this is, Tanner?
Yeah, it was that dog shit mode we hated in Black Ops.
Tell me more.
Remember that one we never played? Well, I don't remember it because we always skipped it. We would leave the lobby when it came out. It was that one where it's like you would have like the first area would spawn on the map as soon as the game started. So both teams would rush for it. And then there'd be like 3 areas. Not 3 areas. There's like, how do I explain it?
Was it a no respawn mode?
No, it was horrible. It was like, so there were 3 tiers, and it's like once you capped it to a certain point, the other team couldn't cap that back. Remember it? And then you had like, Oh my god, it was dog shit. That's why we never played it. They played it in CDL. The CDL kiddies are excited for it, so figure that one out.
I think I remember.
It's you had to control the zone, or the other team had to defend it and fight it off once you started capping it.
Yeah, I remember.
We hardly ever played it though because it was so bad.
Yeah,
it was worse than Safeguard.
Remember? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, whatever. That's back again. Don't care. And then there's a new mode in Black Ops Cold War. I don't really understand what exactly this means, because I saw this revealed in the presentation that they gave at 10 a.m. because they hate the working class. Quote, Fireteam is a new 40-player category of multiplayer with up to 10 teams of 4, where the action is centered around not just the operators in the field, but also the environment they battle in. Now, I'm not sure what this means, because when I was watching the presentation, they didn't mention that there's more than one team in a lobby. It sounded to me like it was where it was just PvE. So like you would spawn in with your friends and you would do like a little mission, and then like you would complete the mission. Kind of like the mode that no one plays in Modern Warfare. But now that I'm reading this tweet from Charlie Intel, a new 40-player category of multiplayer with up to 10 teams of 4. So does this mean it's multiplayer where there's 10 squads of 4 people and you're all trying to do an objective, but you can also kill each other while you do it? So like free for all, but squads of 4? If that's the case, that sounds kind of like Plunder, but it sounds like it could be pretty fun. But if it's 4 people just PvEing, then I'll never play it. But if it's 10 teams of 4, then I'll very rarely play it. So it would interest me. What do you think?
I found an article from Polygon. It said Fireteam will have a variety of game modes, but Treyarch only introduced one during the stream called Dirty Bomb. Dirty Bomb tasks squads with finding uranium that's hidden on the map and delivering it to certain Dirty Bomb locations. Once players have delivered change it. Once they have delivered and arm the bomb, it will explode irradiating. I think they used the wrong word.
Irradiating. Read a book.
Irradiating. They spelled it wrong. The area around it and changing the section of the map for the rest of the match. Interesting.
Okay.
So basically, it'll blow up and change that part of the map.
It does sound like there's more players.
Something else that Battlefield does. Does this mean in COD 2020 buildings are going to be destroyable or what?
True.
Because they're working towards that.
True. So if it's 10 teams of 4, would this interest you in playing?
It sounds kind of fun to play. Yeah, the info still doesn't make much sense to me.
It sounds better than Plunder, because it sounds like it's going to be a smaller map.
Well, of course it sounds better than Plunder.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so it sounds very interesting. It's definitely not as bad as Redacted, but yeah, I'm actually very interested to see more info on that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be right back. You want to take let's go too?
Yeah, we're gonna take a little intermission, boys. We'll be back. So get a little snack break. We're about halfway through, maybe a little bit more. But we're gonna, if you guys need to go piss out of your small penises, go do that. I'm gonna extract my huge white cock out of my shorts and try to wrangle it above my waistband, point it at my toilet, and then piss into it with that huge member. So we will be right back. Go get some snacks. Get cozy. We're just getting started. Let me find the correct scene. All right, we're back. So what else do we have? So Fireteam we covered. This is also a nice little feature, in my view. Theater mode returns in Black Ops Cold War. So theater mode's coming back.
It'll be fun.
That's cool. Yeah, not much to really say here. Basically,
I'm very excited. We can put people on trial again.
We can do trials, dude. Trials again. True. Actually true. Yeah, so there's no theater mode in this game, which is annoying. Theater mode, by the way, the reason we know it's in this game is because in the main menu, There was like a theater section in the alpha. It was locked, so people couldn't look at it. But there was a theater menu. Or, excuse me, option. So theater mode is just where you can like save games, and then you can go into this theater mode and look at that game from any player's perspective, or from a third person perspective, or from like a third person perspective attached to a player, or a floating third person perspective. Really cool. And what Tanner and I would do at the end of Black Ops 4 when we were streaming that, or when I was streaming that game, there were a bunch of hackers, and not a bunch. There were some regular hackers in BO4, especially on PC. This is before cross-platform. And toward the end of the game's life cycle, the devs just stopped banning people because that's how Call of Duty works. They were busy promoting this steaming pile of shit game. Yeah, we would go into theater mode when we suspected people of cheating, and I would do it on stream. And we would be able to determine pretty fucking easily, by the way, if someone was cheating or not.
Yeah.
One of these was really good, and we put it on my YouTube. It's called The Trial of Arkham Knight. And it's just a highlight of his trial. I was the judge. Tanner was the prosecution. And then DJ Papa Squat, F's in the chat, was the defense for Arkham Knight. 7, I think, was his name.
Arkham Knight 1.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I think it was 1.
Well, the verdict, by the way, is that he was in fact cheating. You should go watch that video though. It's fucking funny. But anyways, theater mode is returning. That's cool. You can watch your own gameplays back. It's actually super useful if you're like a real sweat to save some games and like look at other POVs to learn how you could have played something better, and to just watch from your own POV. And this way you aren't required to like use shadow play and record your own gameplay that way. You can do it post hoc through the game without having to worry about how to capture gameplay or something. So that's great.
Yeah, that'll be great to have back.
Yeah. I didn't use it a ton, but it's nice to have, and I used it sometimes. And I can definitely envision other people using it, wanting to use it like a lot more than I would. But I also stream and record, and so it's not, you know. But still, it's cool, because I can see other people's point of view. Even if I record my own gameplay, I can't do that. So, any thoughts on theater mode, TDS?
Excited to have it back. I think I'll end up using it quite a bit, honestly.
Yeah.
Would that make it a lot easier to make like YouTube videos and shit?
I don't know. I feel like most people don't record. Most people making YouTube videos wouldn't need a theater mode.
Yeah, true. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But
yeah,
still,
I mean, some of these guys get really excited. They're like, theater mode's back. I'm like, okay, like that's cool, but I don't know. It's been like the forefront for a lot of these people, and I'm not understanding it fully.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. So that's
good to
cool.
have back.
It is indeed good to have back. And then another little thing to go over. A feature in Hardpoint. A new indicator exists for where the next hardpoint is. This is cool. I like this a lot. In Hardpoint, the hardpoint instantly rotates to a different spot, and it's a static spot, so it's always the same rotation in the same order at the same time. So if you play a bunch of Hardpoint on a particular map, you'll learn where all the rotations are, and then you can use that information to your advantage to fuck kids. But if you're not like a super fucking hardcore Hardpoint player, then now you will get an indication where the next hardpoint will be while it's not active yet, so you can go get on it before it switches early. I think this is great. I really like it. More of a quality of life thing, but it's definitely going to impact how pub matches of Hardpoint are played. And obviously it is to the detriment of like real tryhards who memorize rotations, but not in the same way that removing a minimap would be. It's not like, it's like a fair equalizer rather than an unfair one. I'm not sure why I think that, but I think if I thought about it for 2 minutes, I could make it clear. But what are your thoughts, Tanner?
I think it's cool too because so if the hardpoint rotation was random, then I wouldn't like this change. But due to the fact that they don't change and you always know what the next hardpoint is, if you play a hardpoint map, 2 or 3 times, you'll already realize, oh, okay, so the next one's here. So it really doesn't affect that much. But if it was just randomized, I would rather it flow randomly like that, and players have to move on the fly and think of a strategy as it goes. Then I would be pissed if they added an indicator for it, because it wouldn't matter at that point if it's random or not, because you know where it's at. But yeah, so I think it's cool because I mean we don't play hardpoint a lot, but even us, like, we know where the next rotation is usually for the maps that we play.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this is I think this is cool, and I like it coming from the perspective of someone who typically knows where the next hardpoint is.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fine because I think I shouldn't win a game of hardpoint just because I have no life. I want to win a game of hardpoint with everyone having equal access to information, except I just shoot better than they do. That's why I want to win. I don't want to win because I'm a fucking nerd. So I think it's cool. Not a big deal, but I like it. Next tweet here. No info yet on map voting or lobbies staying together after a match.
So you know what's happening then? There's no map voting and lobbies aren't staying together.
Absolutely. And why aren't they staying together, Tanner?
Because of skill-based matchmaking. It's got to kick you. It has to kick you out to re-queue you for a new lobby because it's based on your last few games. So it changes every game.
Super simple, clear, clean explanation. We came to this conclusion on the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast live a couple months ago now. Like, it just dawned on me. I was like, oh, that's why they disassemble the lobbies after every match. Because it doesn't make sense for any other reason. There's no other reason they would do that. The only explanation that I can think of is because skill-based matchmaking exists and it uses your last 5 games or so, it has to disband you and reassemble a skill-based matchmaking lobby because you have 20% completely new data on your skill-based position. So that's absolutely not coming back. Because one thing we also know, although we don't know it from today, but we know, come on, be adults. Skill-based matchmaking is absolutely coming back. So there's never going to be map voting, and there's never going to be lobbies staying together, which really sucks, but this is totally unsurprising to me. Go ahead.
Dude, there were so many people, like, I saw on Twitter, like, asking things like, is skill-based matchmaking going to be in this game? It's like, dude, do you not understand by now? It's not up to Treyarch. And it was funny too because there was this tweet floating around that Vondi put out in like 2012 2013 where he said something about like connection matchmaking is better than skill based. Yep. Or something like that. Some people like see there isn't going to be skill based because like Vonderhaar doesn't like it. It's like it doesn't matter. It's not up to him. It's up to Activision, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm sure he does hate it. Good for him. Thank you for hating it too. But there's not a damn thing he can do to help us.
Yep. Exactly. So, 1,000% agreed.
Again, we've converted more people lately to realize skill-based matchmaking is trash. Like when Gift joined your lobby and played with you, like last week. Yep. After 2 rounds, he left and he got in Twitch chat and said, "Okay, I will never question you guys bitching about skill-based matchmaking and fuck those lobbies." He's like, now I understand. He said, fuck that. I'm done.
Yep.
So people are starting to get it. Even like with the Damascus hangout, I think it's making people understand more. So,
oh, yeah, it sure is.
Uh-huh.
It sure is. Yeah.
Everybody that's not on my team sure is understanding.
Well, okay. I'll keep that in mind for sure. But yeah, it's just, like, I want to play with my friend Gift. He wants to join my lobby and just run with me, and we're just going to have some casual, fun games. Psych, bitch! Welcome to skill-based matchmaking, where it takes my bracket and forces Gift to play in it, and then he leaves after 2 rounds because it's not fun. Totally unsurprising.
Yeah, and that's what... that's how it is too, is you're just streaming multiplayer. You're like, yeah, if anyone wants to join, feel free. Just like, let me know. I'll send you an invite. We'll play. And so he's like, oh, okay, cool. Let's chill and play. And then he gets destroyed and leaves after 2 games because it's not fun for him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
it's like, I wouldn't want to play either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's anti-friendship. Oh, Real Scuba Gaming is in the chat, by the way. So, what's up, Scuba? Welcome back, dude. Haven't seen Scuba in fucking months. He's a VIP in this stream. Scuba, our tale of tragic romance is now a meme amongst the Dropshot listeners. Real Scuba Gaming is the boy that I wanted to take for coffee. He still lives nary a mile away, and he probably still won't get coffee
yet?
with me. Now, if he's 18, I'm rescinding my invitation. But if you're not yet, Scuba, and you've changed your mind, DM me on Twitter. But there's the man. There's Coffee Boy. Real Scuba Gaming is Coffee Boy. So for all the lore nerds, that's him.
Scuba, he actually can't do like one stream without somebody bringing up that story about him having coffee with minors.
Yeah, he's enshrined in lore forever. So, anyways, let's
Congratulations for being an underage boy.
Yeah, any underage boys in the chat? All right, moving on here. So yeah, the lobby thing, unsurprising. By the way, yes, health bars are back. They show up when you shoot someone to know how much damage you've done. They are not always there. Okay. And if you want, you can disable health bars in your settings. Enemy health bars. Okay. Pretty interesting. I'm ambivalent on this, and I'll get into it, but Tanner, what are your thoughts? Health bars are back in the way that they are.
Okay, so when we saw that leaked gameplay last week, it was a night map, right? And the quality of every video was awful. Even the best quality wasn't great. So my initial thoughts were, okay, great. Health bars are back. It'll make it easier to see people. Well, after watching the gameplay today, I'm realizing now I don't think there's going to be trouble seeing anybody again. So I don't know if health bars are necessary. Now, I'm not one of those health bar haters. I don't care. I think I actually prefer it above their heads. I think it helps. The fact you disable it, or you can disable it, is awesome, because a lot of people won't like that. They'll think it's too cluttered, but I prefer it because I want to know what their health is at. So I'm totally fine with it. I'm excited. I'm also glad I get to just use it, to actually use it as a health bar instead of just using it to see where the enemy is located, you know? So that'll be nice and ideal and fun. So I'm a big fan. You can't really complain about this either way, because it's like, hey, if you don't like it, disable it. Pretty fucking simple.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Let's hear it, stupid bitch. There's nothing to complain about. What are you gonna say?
Okay, here's what you would complain about. Let's say you don't like the appearance of health bars and it's too cluttered. Okay. If it's possible to have health bars and you turn them off, you're dumb. So, if you don't want health bars on your screen, but you're smart enough to know that it gives you valuable information, you're going to have the health bars even though you don't want them there. You're going to be basically forced to. So those people are fucking pissed.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay, I do. Let me explain. If you're listening to this podcast and you're thinking of turning off health bars, absolutely do not do that. Because, for example, if you're weak and you aim at some dude and he has full health, don't take the fight. If you don't see health bars, you won't know that. And in the other case, if you're at full health and you aim at some dude, or you see 3 guys running and they all have 1 health each, well, that's good to know, because now I'm going to try and just kill all of them.
Oh, yeah.
But if I see that they're all at full health, then I might not take that fight. So disabling health bars is incredibly stupid, because you can pick engagements based on how much health you have and the enemy has. And having that information is super valuable, number 1. Number 2, it's not really going to help you see people that much, because it doesn't appear unless you're aiming at them anyway. And by then, you usually will see them, though not always. It's definitely going to help see people sometimes, but it's just not going to be as often as I thought. So that's something. And then the main point, though, is that it's easy to see people in this game from what I've seen. And that is my top 2 complaints about this game. is I can't fucking see anyone ever. And it
Just
doesn't...
using video filters.
Yeah, that's a laugh track for me. And I am very excited to play a first-person shooter game where you're required to see people to aim at them and then shoot your gun, right? So you're required. So the first step is seeing someone. So when someone's in front of me, 5 meters in front of me, in the first-person shooter video game, dead center of my screen, and I don't know they're there because I can't fucking see them, I want to kill myself. In-game, of course. This does not appear to be an issue in this game, hopefully. From what we've seen so far, visibility is way fucking better, which is not a surprise. So the health bars aren't necessary for visibility's sake. Now, so that's good. The visibility is just, I'm so fucking thrilled about that. Health bar thing, to get to this point, I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I want that much information to be available to people. Because you might play slower if you can see health bars, or you might not. I don't really know. But it definitely is going to change how people play. That's the thing. Whether it's going to change how they play in a good way or a bad way, I'm not really sure on. But if I know that you're at 1 health, or I know that you're at full health, that's going to determine which gunfights I take and which I don't. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like, if you yourself are weak, you need to be real fucking careful seeing people, because if anyone sees you, they're going to know you're one shot, and they're going to go out of their way to kill you. I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure I dislike it, but I'm not sure I like it. Your thoughts?
I understand what you're saying. I feel like if anything, though, it would make players play more aggressive. Because if they can see that somebody is one shot, then I think they're gonna rush and try to get that kill, versus sit back and do nothing, right?
Yes.
I mean, doesn't that make the most sense?
Yes.
I like having that info, dude.
Okay.
I do. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Okay.
I really don't see. I can't find a single thing to complain about.
Well,
not a single thing.
Here's the thing to complain about. I kill 3 people on the enemy team, and I'm one shot, and then a 4th dude comes around the corner while I'm running into a building, and he sees that I have 1 health when I run in the building, and he might just chase me when he otherwise wouldn't, because he knows that I have 1 health, and then I die. But I'm seeing here, Doug is saying health bars won't pop up until you do damage to someone. If that's the case, that wouldn't be a problem. So maybe that's fine.
So that's kind of vague. He said that's what Charlie said. So does that mean if you personally don't do damage to somebody, even if they're one shot, you won't see that? Or does that just mean if that person has taken any damage?
Good question.
I mean, once again, that's probably how Charlie Intel worded it, because they usually don't thoroughly explain things.
Yeah.
Because they have to get a lot of info out there. And this wasn't something I saw anyone talking about, really, other than the fact that you can disable it. So,
yeah.
I don't know, dude. I think your thought process of like somebody pushing you when they usually wouldn't, I don't know if you can actually prove.
You would do it.
I'm going to brush them either way. I don't care
sure.
how much health they have.
Yikes.
If I have full health, I'm rushing them,
Touché.
you dumb bitch.
Touché.
How dare you think I sit back?
Well,
You're so dumb.
No. What if your multiplier is super thick? You might play like a pussy, but then you see some dude's 1 health and your dick gets too hard.
I don't play like a pussy.
No, bullshit.
Shut up.
This absolutely will impact how you play the game. This absolutely will. I refuse to believe it.
We'll see. I play aggressive, and that's how I'm going to continue to play.
Okay.
If anything, this will make me rush more, so keep that in mind.
Okay, we'll keep that in.
And I don't think the thing that you're saying about, like, players are at a disadvantage if they disable it.
That's absolutely true.
Half of the people that play this game are dog shit, and they don't think that way or care about that. They're just going to disable it because they don't want that on their screen. So it doesn't matter, you know?
Okay.
Doesn't matter. I'm going to run with health bars.
That's what. Yeah, of course. Everyone that has a brain is going to run with health bars because it's.
I don't
good.
think so. I really don't think they will. I think a lot of people will turn it off.
Yeah, because they're dumb. They don't have brains. That's my point.
Okay. Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
Let's move on because you're not getting it. By the way, Scuba asks a good question. Is there healing in this one? No. There's no manual healing. It is only auto health regen. That has been confirmed.
Doug said regarding that, yeah, not 100% confirmed, but he's 90% sure you can only see an enemy's health if you yourself have hit them.
Yeah.
But again,
that would
unconfirmed.
Help. That would help. But yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Either way, I'm not mad about it. It's just different, but it's not necessarily good or bad. I'd have to think about that a lot more because that was the case in BO4, and BO4 was fine. I mean,
well, yeah. How was it in
disaster,
BO4? Would you see everyone's?
I think you just always saw health in BO4. Yeah. So it's actually different. Yeah.
And it's something I never thought of and never even thought to complain of. It was there.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure. Anyway, let's move on. The swimming mechanics from Black Ops 4 return to Black Ops Cold War. So we've talked about this a little bit. Now, I'm not happy that there's water in my first-person shooter video game, period.
You're not happy at all?
I don't want water. I don't want to swim. I don't want to go spelunking, cave diving, spearfishing. Don't care. Don't want to touch water.
You're not a river rat? You don't want to get on the jet skis?
Exactly. I'm not a river rat, garbage, white trash cunt like you, Tanner. Dropshot.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I hate swimming. With that said, if there's going to be swimming, the swimming mechanic from BO4, I think was very good.
Yeah, you can swim super fast.
You could swim pretty fast, but definitely slower than like running, obviously. That's good. You could ADS underwater. That's good. You could ADS above water. That's good. You could hold your breath for an amount of time. That was a reasonable amount of time. So you weren't fucking David Blaine underwater for 20 minutes. But also, you're not going to go out of breath like immediately. The swimming seemed fairly smooth in BO4. The movement seemed fine. I don't think it's that hard of a thing to like code this in, but if they do it exactly like BO4, I'm fine with that. Now take swimming out of the game, but if you're going to have it in, the way BO4 handled it was pretty good. So
yeah. Okay.
Anything to add?
I agree with all that.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, so there's water whether we like it or not. So, hey, swimming has to be in the game, right?
Yeah. So, okay. Also, there are no doors, by the way, in multiplayer. That, I think we already knew this as well. I don't know when or where this was confirmed, but there are, in fact, no doors in multiplayer, at least.
So, do you think there will be doors for the seamless transition?
Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. Well, there isn't going to be a seamless transition, so that question doesn't make sense.
Okay,
So
got it.
we'll get into it. But yeah, there's no doors in multiplayer, which is good, right? We're happy about this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just needless.
Everyone's happy about that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
not much to say there. So that's good. This is something I'm excited to talk about. Treyarch says that Cold War's time to kill is slightly faster than Black Ops 4. What that means is the time to kill is faster than BO4 by a little bit, which also means it is slower than Modern Warfare by a fair amount. What that means is you're required to land more shots before a player is killed. What that means is players who can aim well and who can consistently hit bullets are going to be rewarded and get kills from it. And what that means is the skill gap is widened. And what that means is we're happy about this. This is good.
We are indeed happy
We're
about this.
thrilled about this. I've talked about this many times, but If you have to land more shots, then it requires you to aim well. If I get shot in the back by fucking dickhead Mick 0.5, then if the time to kill is slower than Modern Warfare, I have more time to turn around and dunk on him because he can't aim and I can. That's good because you're rewarding good players for being able to aim their gun in the first-person shooter video game. Slightly faster than BO4. What are your thoughts, Tanner?
I'm hoping and praying it's going to be perfect because BO4 I liked. I thought it took a lot of skill to win a gunfight, or more skill than this game at least, because it required you to keep your aim on that player for all of those bullets, which was a lot to kill somebody. This game, time to kill, way too fucking fast. Way too quick. So I'm hoping this will be perfect. This is kind of what I know you've been hoping for specifically. Like, this should be right in that sweet spot that you've been wanting.
Yes.
Yeah, if I had to pick the time to kill in multiplayer for Modern Warfare or BO4, it would definitely be BO4.
If I had to pick one of the two, yes. Call back in. Go on. We're good.
I mean, how often do you hold on, answer it.
Go ahead, mute.
Like, how often do you just get like randomly killed to a one-shot hip fire that shouldn't have happened? And I remember you complaining about that when this game first came out, because I was like okay with it. I was like, oh, okay, this time to kill isn't bad. And you're like, dude, I get hip fire one tapped all the fucking time. And I was like, no, what are you talking about? Well, twitch.tv/Razinon was right again.
Yeah.
So this will cut back on a lot. A higher time to kill always means more skill is required, which we like.
Exactly.
So all in all, I'm very excited.
Exactly. Yeah. And then also, I had another question that I want to talk about. But also, yeah, slightly faster than BO4 means that one-shot kill weapons are going to be slightly less good in Cold War than they were in Black Ops 4. So I, like Tanner, loved the time to kill in BO4, except it made knifing very good because I could shoot you 10 times while you're sprinting at me and you're still alive, and then you stab me with your one-hit kill weapon because you're a cunt, and I hated that. Snipers were also very OP because if I have to land 10 bullets and you just have to land one, then you're giving a sniper a lot of fucking time to just line up one goddamn shot and kill you. So one-hit kill weapons are really good and shotguns, of course. Moz 12, fire, Mogs, kill yourself in-game, of course. So one-shot kill weapons are really good the longer the time to kill gets, the slower the time to kill gets. So if it's a little faster than BO4, it's still going to require aim and have a wider skill gap than MW. But the one-hit kill weapons aren't going to be as bad as they were in BO4. So this is right in the sweet spot for me. I'm going to have to play the game to confirm that, but it sounds like it is right in the sweet spot, exactly like Tanner said, so I'm fucking thrilled about this. I love it. And by the way, watching the time to kill and the gameplay looks perfect. Perfect. The Italian, perfect. You know, the hand gesture.
So I know because I've been to Italy, you haven't, so don't do that hand gesture ever again.
Yikes. What if I own 2 Italian leather belts? Can I do it?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
No, it doesn't matter. If you go to Italy, you can do it.
Okay.
Take your Italian leather to Italy and see what they say about it. It was probably made in China.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
Next thing to cover here is to answer the question about Prestige, the Prestige system. We're waiting to see if they'll announce the details on the progression system in this stream. They didn't. Our alpha build that we played had ranking disabled. We were all level 1 the entire time. Barracks did not unlock. So we still haven't heard about Prestige. I think there were some leaks, rumors floating about that the Prestige system was not returning. However, there has been a ton of community rallying and petitioning of Treyarch for there to be a Prestige system. Now, I'm not a fucking game dev, but what I can pretty confidently tell you is that if they wanted to add a Prestige system, it wouldn't be that hard and it wouldn't take them that long and they could do it. And given how one-sided the opinion of the player base is on this topic, like almost unanimously, people want the prestige system back. And the devs fucking know this. Charlie Intel ran a poll asking this, and Call of Duty's got their fucking eyes on Charlie Intel. And it was like 85% wanted prestige back or something. I'm
trying to find it.
They see
88%.
88% of resounding majority.
And that was 140,000 votes. Almost 90% said they would rather have prestige than seasonal ranks.
Yes. And you should bet your sweet ass that Call of Duty and Treyarch and Activision are paying attention to things like that. Specifically Charlie Intel too. So the rumors might have been true at the time that they didn't plan on bringing a prestige system back, but they might cave to community pressure and decide to put it in the game. And I think they would have ample time to do that if they were so inclined. So they didn't say there's no prestige system in the reveal today, and they didn't say there is one either. So we obviously want a prestige system back. Do you think it'll happen, TDS?
So we have what? 2 months till the full game releases? A little bit more than 2 months. Like you're saying. So
64 days and 29 minutes.
So prestige mode has been in the previous Call of Duties before Modern Warfare for how many years? 10 years? 8 years?
Most of them, yeah.
A long time, right? So we know they could easily do it. Again, we don't know how game development works. But I am absolutely confident that 2 months is way more than enough time they need to put in a perfectly working prestige mode.
Yes.
And I do think they're going to do it. And the reason being, I don't think Charlie Intel would even send that out if they didn't know something, because they always pretend like we don't know what that is. Like, we really have no idea. It's like, well, you're lying, but yeah.
True.
So I think that basically Activision / Treyarch wanted them to send something like that out to see what the community was feeling. Even though they should know damn well everyone wanted prestige back. Everyone was furious when they took it out in this game. And of course, Infinity Ward tried to beat us off and say, oh no, this is going to be better than ever. You're going to get more rewards than ever. Blah, blah. Go fuck yourself, Joe Seacott, you stupid bitch.
Yes.
I think prestige mode is coming back.
You think
Bottom
so?
line,
yeah.
Yes. I think they have to do it. They just have to. For an account that big to tweet that out, who's partnered with Call of Duty, to get almost 90% of the player base saying they would rather have prestige mode, you can't ignore that. If you do ignore that, you're an asshole.
Yeah, true.
So I think prestige is coming back. And I hope it does, dude.
Yeah. So, okay. I agree. And it feels like Treyarch is thus far very responsive to community feedback. And this is such an obvious, like, thing they should do. And I don't see a downside. That's the important part. Because if they added prestige, they could still have a battle pass system, just like in BO4. So they wouldn't be losing money. So the only downside would be that they have to actually code it in. But that doesn't seem that hard. And for all of the praise they would get for that, I think it's pretty likely that we see it again.
Yeah.
Total conjecture, but I would be more surprised if there was not a prestige than if there was. Even despite the rumors that it's not coming back. So another nice little note here. Play of the game is in fact back. Now, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 Game of the Year Edition has not had a play of the game system for, 10 months now? About 10 months. So that's great. Mm-hmm. So they intended to have a play of the game system, right? But it has been broken since beta. Right? Since beta. And it's never been fixed. And to this fucking day, play of the game is not fixed. Now, what's crazy about that is that in an alpha build, which is pre-beta, alpha build of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, every single play of the game that has ever been shown works exactly as intended. It is a great play. It's always play of the game, and it's always a good play, and it doesn't cut off in the middle of the play for no fucking reason. And that is fantastic. So we're very thrilled about that. Is that correct?
Oh, I'm absolutely thrilled.
Yeah.
It's so fun when you get a nutty play and it actually shows it.
And you get excited because you're like, oh,
yeah.
I know it's me. Yeah.
And we're calling, and then we like argue. You're like, no, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. In this game, you know what I do? The game ends. I stare at my screen. My brain shuts off because I know nothing exciting is coming, right?
True.
Get seacotted.
Get seacocked. Yeah. Absolutely seacocked.
Fuck you, Joe.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Fuck Joe.
Any Joe fuckers?
Any Joe Seacotts in the chat. So, anyway, let's move on here. Real quick here, this is for my viewers on YouTube and on twitch.tv/Razinon, live every Wednesday and Saturday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. The Dropshot Call of Duty podcast, the hottest up-and-coming podcast in gaming. We have an image of what the multiplayer lobby looks like. I just thought I would include this. Obviously, for everyone listening to this, I would encourage you guys to go on YouTube and like Google or search Cold War. You can find gameplay. They're not on NDA. They're showing the alpha footage everywhere. So go to YouTube. You can watch it. All the full streams and shit. Symphony is who I would recommend you watch if you're on PC. And then for console, I don't know. Swag. Swag's cool. He's good. Swag got a 26 kill streak. Almost a nuke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Noisy Butters shut him down, which I found amusing.
You know, I saw somebody saying something on Twitter about like, why was he so excited? Like, does he know that a nuke's in the game, even though like an actual callable nuke is in the game, even though Treyarch doesn't usually have them?
No, I don't.
Or did he just want a 30 kill streak just to say he got a 30 kill streak?
I think he just wanted it. Yeah. I would be very surprised if callable nukes were in this game, to be honest. Treyarch doesn't do them. I don't think they've ever done one.
Well,
so keep that in mind.
They've also never had a Scorestreak system like this, so or maps with boats in them.
Okay.
Or 12v12 with tanks.
Okay, we'll keep
or possible no prestige mode.
We'll keep all of that in mind.
Stupid fuck.
Anyways, next up here is a very fun and exciting topic. Activision details Black Ops Cold War and Warzone integration.
The article just says it's seamless, and that's it.
The article says, quote, "It is a seamless transition." End quote. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm kidding. So now this would imply that there are details, right? Because it says details in the title. Well, if you thought that, you would be fucking wrong, because there are basically no details here. So let's dive in. There are a couple details. Okay, first of all, cross-play, cross-progression, cross-generation. So you can play this game on PS4, PS5, Xbox X, Xbox One, or whatever we're on, and PC. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Number one. And cross-progression means that, let me just see here. Okay. With Black Ops Cold War, an entire multiplayer party could be comprised of up to 5 players who are playing the game across the available 5 platforms, including next and current gen consoles and PC. Alongside cross-platform and cross-generational play, players will have their profile, progression, and stats tied to their Activision account. This allows them to switch between platforms if they choose to do so without losing in-game progress or identity. That is cool.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what else do we have here? Warzone will continue to evolve after the launch of Cold War, interweaving some of Cold War's themes, weapons, and operators into this blockbuster free-to-play BR experience. Specifically, both games will share post-launch seasonal content through the return of the Battle Pass system in the store, as well as share a progression system. So Warzone and Cold War will have cross-progression. At launch, Cold War is set to include a brand new leveling journey that will later connect to Warzone, allowing players to unlock new functional content to be used in both titles. In addition, both games are set to share post-launch seasonal content through the store. On top of all the Black Ops Cold War shit, Warzone players will still have access to previously earned content, weapons, operators, blueprints, equipment, cosmetics, and so on that they earned during their experiences in MW. And that is that. So, couple bullet points. Those who earned MW items in MW or Warzone will retain their content when Cold War arrives. Not sure what that means or why that is important. Like, I retain the items I earned in Mass Effect 1 when I buy Mass Effect 2, right? So it's a weird thing to even say that.
Well, that was a different game. That wasn't a seamless transition.
Okay. All new Cold War functional content, such as base weapons and attachments, can be unlocked by playing Cold War and by playing Warzone. Interesting. The Battle Pass system will continue to include free tiers, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and that's pretty much all the details. So Black Ops Cold War will continue this concept through a collaborative effort across multiple studios, Treyarch and Raven, along with support from High Moon, Beanox, Activision Shanghai, Demonware, Change It, and Sledgehammer Games. Okay. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting because, first of all, cross progression, cool. Warzone and Black Ops Cold War being integrated? Doubt it. Doubt it. So, it seems like Warzone is going to change when Cold War comes out. Now, are there enough details in this article? Absolutely fucking not. But what do we know from this article? Some Cold War weapons are going to be added to Warzone. Cool. Some operator skins are going to be added to Warzone. Cool. You can play Warzone by launching Cold War and pressing on the Warzone button. Cool, I guess.
Cool.
Now, when we say that that's a seamless transition, right? No, it's not. Basically, what that actually means is that Warzone is going to get some new weapons that are also in Cold War. And it's going to get literally cosmetics in the form of operator skins added to Warzone as well. So, for example, the Stoner 63, which is not a gun in Modern Warfare, will be available in Warzone for you to pick up and maybe customize a Warzone loadout with. Okay. Here's what's not going to happen. Maybe not. Probably not. Here's what I find unlikely to happen. You can't have both create a class systems. They are incompatible. Right? So number one. So there's no wild cards in Modern Warfare and Warzone. Are they going to add wild cards in? No. If they did, they would have to literally remove all the perks from Warzone currently and put in all the Cold War perks. Because they don't mix and match. That is virtually certain to not be the case. They're not going to mix and match perks. Okay. Also, for example, you can drop shot in Modern Warfare. You can't do that in Cold War. So what do you do in Warzone? Those are irreconcilable differences. Can you drop shot or not? By the way, the slide in Cold War is a lot fucking different than the slide in Modern Warfare. Which one is going to be the case in Warzone? Oh, how about tac sprint? Can you still tac sprint in Warzone? Or not? Because you can't do it in Cold War. So what do I think is going to happen here? I think you're going to keep the same perks with the same loadout. You're going to keep tac sprint. You're going to be able to drop shot. All of the game mechanics in Warzone will continue to be the Modern Warfare mechanics. All the perks are going to be the same. The loadout's going to be the same. The only thing that's going to happen is that you are allowed to do cross progression in Warzone to earn shit in Cold War, which is cool. I'm happy with that. And some of the guns and operator skins from Cold War will be usable in Warzone. That is pretty much all I see happening. Now, if you want to tell me that that is an integration or a seamless transition, cool, suck me off. because it's not. It's Warzone with some new guns, and that's it. Because I don't care about cosmetics like operator skins. So it would literally be saying, hey, Cold War's coming out, which means you're going to have some new guns in Warzone. Which is the same as Warzone now, because some new guns get added to Warzone sometimes. Tanner, am I bugging?
The main question I'm stuck on now is that, okay, so people now, they'll play multiplayer and Warzone, right? So I'll play multiplayer for, say, 4 hours one day. And then I'm like, okay, I want to hop on Warzone. And I'm thinking like, cool, I'm going to play Call of Duty Warzone. So it should feel like the latest Call of Duty that I'm playing. So I'm going to get on Warzone, and it's going to feel and play exactly like Modern Warfare did with just some Cold War weapons. Why would anybody want that? Right? That means we're basically playing two different Call of Duty games at once.
Yes.
So I don't think any way you look at it, it makes sense. It doesn't make sense to just destroy everything and swap over to Cold War. That makes no sense. They spend a lot of time on the game. It just also doesn't make sense that the games play differently, and it's going to be weird. Because let's be clear, once Cold War comes out, Modern Warfare multiplayer is more dead than it is now, which is pretty dead. So everyone is just going to be playing Cold War multiplayer. So then they're just going to swap back and play Modern Warfare. Then they're just going to be bitching about the movement and mechanics in that because they're going to get used to playing Cold War multiplayer. So any way you look at it, this whole thing is going to be weird, and I don't understand how it's going to work. And I don't think that's something people have thought about. Like, yeah, okay, it's gonna transition. Like, I get it. Warzone's just the name, and it's supposed to be like a standalone. But it's like, okay. So this standalone though is just gonna happen to play like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 Game of the Year edition for however many years they do this. If Warzone seamlessly transitions into the next 3 games over the next 3 years, when that's all said and done, is the game still going to play and feel like Modern Warfare? Or when do they switch it over and match the overall mechanics of the latest Call of Duty game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Now Face said, I think it's going to be the opposite. Warzone will look and play like Cold War, but they're going to bring some operators and buyable items over from MW. That makes more sense. But then it's not the same fucking game, so don't call it a seamless transition. Because it's just a new BR with the same name, which is what I said months ago when they were first talking about this. They're saying,
it's just the title, yeah.
Well, Warzone's just going to become Cold War. They're just going to fucking make some kind of weird husk demon thing, Frankenstein. No. If it's going to be the Cold War mechanics and Cold War guns and Cold War movement and Cold War engine and all that shit, then it's just a new game that you're calling Warzone. Fine. That is what I said in the first place. But it is disingenuous to say that is just going to be like, oh, Warzone's gonna stay and it's just gonna be the same game, but it's not. It's like, no, it's gonna be a new game. If the mechanics, the gunsmith, the perks, the weapons are all going to change, that is what we call a new game. Now, they might use the same map, which is just fucking lazy, frankly, but they have to do that, so it's not lazy, exactly. Because having a BR and a multiplayer is too much anyway, so it's not lazy, but it's going to be just a different game. So don't call it a transition. It's going to be the same in name only.
Yeah,
if that's
it's just
the case.
going to be the name.
If that's the case. Now, again, we don't know because they didn't actually give us details, of course. But it's going to be one of those two things. It's going to be an entirely new game, or it's going to be the old game with some new guns in it. But either way, it's not going to be Warzone plus Cold War. It's not possible. So that's what I would say on this topic. Anything to add, Tanner?
My only other question about this is, when is this seamless transition taking place? Is this new version of Warzone going to be available day one of Cold War, or is this going to come out months later like this one did?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, that also doesn't make any sense. So then we're just going to be playing the exact Modern Warfare version of Warzone with nothing changed, right? Because it's not like 3 months into the game, they're going to change the gameplay to match Cold War. So it's either happening the day the game switches over to Cold War, it's going to play like Cold War does, or the entire cycle, it's going to keep Modern Warfare's mechanics and just add Cold War weaponry.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, fundamentally at its core, what we're saying is it is either going to be the same game with some new items, or it's going to be a new game. Period. With some, like, weapons that carry over and operator skins that carry over and shit. That's great, but it would have been way fucking more clear if they had just said, we're changing the game, we're just going to keep calling it Warzone. But there does not exist a seamless transition. That's the point. So, anyway, we didn't actually get details, but there you go. So, let's move on here. What else do we have? Yeah, here's another, by the way, here's an image. Warzone is another one of the menu items that we saw in the alpha build. In addition to zombies, of course, which we're going to get into. Not really much, but and campaign. And then there was theater as well. So, yeah. Warzone is definitely going to be in Black Ops Cold War in some fashion. But no one fucking knows how. But I think our theory is pretty good. So, no one knows. Events in Warzone will impact the events in Black Ops Cold War and vice versa. That implies, like, the plot, the narrative, and the story. Right?
Yeah.
So that's a big don't care for us, I would imagine.
It's just, they're just talking about, like, how the nuke or whatever is going to change the map.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I took it as.
Yep. Yeah. So the stories are going to intertwine in some way.
Yeah.
So maybe
I'm going to go pee to sober up.
Okay. And maybe that's a part of the seamless transition.
That's all part of it. It's
all part of it.
It's all seamless.
It's all super seamless. So yeah, by the way, Tanner's not here for this, but he doesn't care, so it doesn't matter. Zombies are confirmed as well. Actually, I think Tanner does care. I kind of want to talk to him about this when he gets back. But yeah, there are zombies in this game. Toward the end of the multiplayer reveal, they very briefly showed a cinematic with a bunch of zombies. They didn't actually show zombies gameplay, but they confirmed that it's in the game. Now, Tanner and I have debated this. I do not care. I will never play zombies. Ever. I hate it. It is dumb and it's boring and it's for children. It's for boys. So if you're a boy, that's fine. Go play zombies. Don't care. I won't be joining you. It's just not happening. It's not for me. But if you're a zombies player, that's coming back as well. Now, Tanner may or may not be playing zombies, but I will not be playing with him unless I'm very drunk. In which case, maybe I will be actually playing some zombies. But we'll keep that in mind. Now, one thing I thought of while we were covering this, actually, Tanner brought up hipfire accuracy. I think that in Modern Warfare, hip firing is way too good. Even without any attachments, hip firing is way too fucking strong, especially with how fast the time to kill is. And especially if you slap on a Merc foregrip and a 5 milliwatt laser, you can very reliably land every single bullet on someone who's literally 15 meters away from you from the hip, which is obscene. And it should never be in a first-person shooter game because, once again, shrinks the skill gap because you don't have to aim. I hate it. Did you notice how accurate or not accurate the hip fire was so far from Cold War in the alpha footage we've seen?
I didn't watch enough to have like a solid view on that, but I did notice specifically there were like 2 kills that Ace got, and I remember thinking like, holy shit, that hip fire accuracy was nuts. But it was only like 1 or 2 kills and they were relatively close to them. or to him, and I didn't really notice it other than that because he was ADS most of the time. So, did you actually notice something about that? Is that why you brought this up?
No, but you were mentioning how I was mad about the hip fire in this game in beta. So it made me think I should have like paid attention to hip fire in this game, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's a great question. After this, I'm gonna go watch some more videos actually, because that's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hipfire is extremely overpowered in this game. I feel like though, if you're gonna be able to with that wild card get 8 attachments on a weapon,
Of course, yeah.
you're gonna have pretty damn good hipfire accuracy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm expecting it to be the same.
I'm hoping there's only like one attachment that gives hip fire accuracy, but that's almost certainly not going to be the case.
Yeah.
But even if there's 2, it still could be not that good. I mean, it all depends on the default hip fire accuracy.
I did notice that a lot of people were using lasers in the gameplay. I don't know if that's because most attachments weren't accessible, so that was like probably one of the first ones you unlocked. But I did see a whole lot of lasers.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's kind of alluding to hipfire accuracy being nutty.
That's another thing I wanted to ask. Are lasers visible to enemies in this game?
They were regular red lasers, so I'm not sure.
I hope
Good
they're
question.
not.
I never noticed another person's laser
I
come
do a
across,
lot.
but again, no. I'm talking about in the gameplay from today.
Oh, yeah, got it.
But again, I didn't have time to watch much gameplay
Really, yeah, same.
because I have a job. Patreon.com/thedropshot.
True. Hit us up.
So going back real quick to zombies,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
dude, I think you hit the nail on the head. So I'll be down to play zombies. Hey, if you want to run zombies with me, let's run zombies. But I think it could be really fun, you know, once we take the fuck off and we quit our jobs, right? We can do a zombie night where we just get drunk once a week and play zombies. I think that would be very entertaining for the viewers. I think that'd be something they would want to see. Now we can't get blitz because we'll die in like round 4 and then they'll get bored and leave to go watch Swag drop a nuke.
Yeah, yes.
Or Korean Savage reverse boost and drop a triple nuke. So, you know, we can't be horrible at it, but that could be really fun, I think.
Mhm.
So I always like zombies. I don't know, dude. You must just not have had friends when you were younger. I think that's what.
Oh,
it goes
I
back
did, and
to.
I played zombies. That's why I said it's for boys. When I was a boy,
Yeah,
zombies was
you're
fun.
still a boy. So you're a boy who just so happens to own a custom tailored suit with an
European
Italian
cut.
leather belt.
Yeah,
That's a European
of
cut.
course.
Yeah. Custom tailored to fit your skinny body
My
and your boy belly.
my boy tummy. Yeah, we'll keep that.
The word tummy. That's
The
a
word
great
tummy,
word.
dude. We'll keep that in mind for sure. Kickflip. By the way, thank you for the gifted sub, dude. Appreciate it. Just saw that, man. Thank you, brother. Honored, humbled, and privileged. I hope you're still here, and I appreciate the support, young king. Thank you very much for that. Now, we're just about wrapping it up. So, a couple things that aren't really in any notes, and it's kind of just based on our own observations. How does the game look visually, Tanner?
Like just straight graphics. Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, both graphics and also visibility.
Okay. So the graphics look worse than BO4,
Really?
worse than Modern Warfare.
Interesting.
Oh, I think the graphics look horrible. The weapon models look disgusting. It looks like they're all in 240p quality. They're not great, but at the end of the day, I don't care because I'm on PC. So what I do is lower my graphic settings anyways to get the highest amount of frames.
Yes.
So I really don't care. I'm just pointing that out. It doesn't look great, and I think most people can agree on that. Now, the visibility, on the other hand, looks fantastic. We haven't seen many maps. Was there gameplay today from the Miami map at night? Is there a
Yes.
day version of that map that we saw today, or is it only
There
nighttime?
exists a day version, yeah.
Okay, so it's probably just a nighttime version.
Yeah.
I didn't see that today. I only saw the shitty video from last week. But the day maps I thought looked great. Visibility was fantastic, and I noticed that was one of the first things that I noticed is you can finally see people.
Yep.
And you can see them easily. And I didn't notice any, fucking dust particles floating in the air. No sun rays coming down and blinding you when you were looking one direction. So maybe that all ties into the graphics not looking as good. But if that relates to the visibility being better and the overall flow being better in this game, then I'm totally okay with it and I don't mind.
Exactly. So, yeah,
visibility is my number one. Hey, the graphics could look like Fortnite. As long as the visibility is good, I really wouldn't care. I'm just pointing that out. I'm going to turn my settings on low, and I'm going to have triple 3090s running 800 frames per second on low settings. So,
yeah. So I literally didn't even think about what the graphics look like. I'm not kidding. I watched all the gameplay and I didn't notice what the graphics look like. I genuinely do not care at all. The only reason this is here is because once I was done watching gameplay and stuff, other people were talking about it. Like, oh, the graphics don't look that great or whatever. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that because I couldn't care less.
And I think more than just the graphics, I think specifically it's the weapon models just look terrible. They don't have a lot of detail like they have in Modern Warfare. They look fantastic in this game.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I'm going to have dark matter in 2 weeks and that'll be on every gun covering it. So
yeah, we'll keep that in mind. But yeah, I think you hit on a good point. The graphics might not be as good as M-dubs. I don't know if that's true yet necessarily. I don't know how much graphics improve from an alpha to release. Probably not. Probably not much, if at all.
At all, but yeah.
Okay. Okay. So even if the graphics are like way worse than M-dubs, which they very well could be, the visibility is also way fucking better. And by the way, I think those things are probably related. I think they're probably related. I think one of the reasons M-dub looks good graphically is because of all the dust particles that look all realistic. It's because of the sun glare that's super realistic. It's because of the reflection off your gun that blinds you that looks super realistic and fucking nice to look at. But I don't care. And I don't want sun glare in my game if it makes it look better and more realistic. If it also means I can't see the players whom I am trying to shoot in the first-person shooter video game. So the visibility in this game is way better than M-dub. And that's all I care about, and I'm thrilled about it. So yes, absolutely, 100% agreed with you. Now the movement. What are your thoughts on the movement in general?
Movement looks slow in the leak gameplay, but finally today when there was a PC player with a wider field of view, it looked definitely quicker than Modern Warfare. Not as quick as I thought it was going to be. Quicker than Modern Warfare. The sliding gets you very far. My only complaint with the sliding is it almost looks clunky. Like, do you get what I'm saying? It's like the transition from running to sliding just looks clunky, and I don't know. I guess it kind of ties in with the graphics not looking that great. That mechanic overall just looks strange. But those things usually feel different when you actually play it. But overall, I'm pleased with how far it is. Did we talk about the slide canceling thing the dev said?
No, go ahead, though.
Well, I need to pull up the tweet and find it. Did you hear about that, though?
I don't really know what you're talking about now.
Okay, so basically, everyone was complaining that slide canceling is still in the game, and that same dev we were talking about earlier tweeted something out, and he said, "By the way, we hear you guys loud and clear. We're gonna make some adjustments to that so that slide canceling can't be abused like it is in its current state," and basically saying like it is in Modern Warfare.
Yes.
And he said that should be ready like for the beta or something. He said something along those lines.
He said it's already fixed in the build they have now. That was not.
Oh, is that what he said?
He said
okay.
oh yeah, we already fixed that, but you guys aren't on that build yet.
Fantastic.
Exactly. So slide canceling, yeah. Yep. Anyway, go on,
the gunplay, that's where Treyarch always loses me. These things are so hard to explain to me because I'm like, I don't know. I watch it and the gunplay just doesn't look as good. I don't know how to explain it. It's just Modern Warfare has really good gunplay. I think it's like the recoil patterns of it. Just the way the weapons aim down sight, just everything, like the reload mechanics, it all looks really good, and Treyarch games don't have that. They usually have really fluid movements, which I'm not sure about with the sliding so far. But the movement is at least quick. The gunplay just looks, again, it's like I don't know how to say it. It looks clunky almost.
Let me jump in. Okay, so I think one of the reasons that the gunplay looks so good in M-Dub is because none of the guns have actual recoil, but they add in visual recoil to make it look more realistic without actually impacting the recoil pattern on the gun. My favorite example of this is the Uzi. When you shoot the Uzi, it looks bouncy as fuck, and it looks like it has like weird recoil and it's just bouncy. But if you actually shoot the Uzi, it is incredibly accurate, especially with that new barrel, that long barrel. It's super accurate, and all the visual recoil bouncing bullshit has no impact on what is actually happening with your gun. Now, this can throw people off, and in fact, it does throw people off. And the reason that they have the visual recoil, I suspect, is so that the gunplay, quote, looks better and more realistic. I think Treyarch is going to have this basically the same amount of recoil in this game as M-Dub has, but they are just opting to not add the visual recoil because they would rather the gun look less realistic but be more true to what's actually happening in the game than the opposite. And what that means is it's just like the same example as the graphics versus the visibility. Infinity Ward and M-Dub went for more realistic looking, worse impact on gameplay with the graphics and visibility. Treyarch did the opposite. I think the same thing is the case for gunplay, which is why everyone thinks it doesn't look great. I think Infinity Ward went for a more realistic gunplay look by adding visual recoil that's not actually there. And Treyarch is just deciding not to do that so that whatever recoil your gun looks like it has in Cold War, it actually has, which looks stiff and weird because most guns don't have that much recoil anymore. And that's why it looks weird, but it's more representative of the actual game. And in closing, that is a good thing. Now, I'm not sure on this, but that's what it seems like to me. Am I bugging? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that has any effect on it, no.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know. I actually feel like, again, it's just more how poor the weapon models look. It just looks like dumb almost. But I'm not unemployed, so I didn't have time to watch hours of gameplay today. I watched about 20 minutes, so.
Well, yeah. Activision does hate the working class, so.
They fucking hate us, yeah.
Shit on. So, and then going back here real quick, the movement to me, everyone is saying that the movement is, looks like awkward or or like not smooth. It looks incredibly smooth and crispy to me. Like 100% smooth and crispy. Yes. I have no problem with the movement. It looks incredibly fluid to me. Now, I'm obviously in the minority because everyone I'm seeing is saying the movement like looks weird or something. I don't see it. I don't see it looking weird. Especially, I like the slide. You start the slide fast. You slide at a high rate of speed. And you slide far. Really far. Farther than in any other Call of Duty game. And that is a bunch of outplay potential. And it's super dynamic. And I really, really like it.
Another
and the movement looks so fluid.
Ideally,
go ahead.
I think, I wonder if that sliding will help break controller aim as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Probably not.
That would be ideal.
It would be nice, though.
It would make it worse.
It'd make it more difficult. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The movement looks great to me, and I'm so happy with the slide. I'm so fucking happy with that slide. And then another little note, by the way, real quick that we left out. Oh yeah, last thing on the gunplay. Yeah, I think I've said my piece. The gunplay looks fine to me. I don't know. But all of this, like how it feels overall, we have to play to see.
Yeah, these things are hard to gauge. Like, I will learn more in 1 minute of shooting a gun in this game than I will in 3 hours of watching videos. Like, I'll play for 1 minute, get 5 kills, be like, oh, okay, the gunplay's fine, actually. Never mind. It feels fine and normal. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it is the visual recoil thing you're saying.
Yeah.
And it would just be a visual thing, and once we actually use it, it'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll see.
Like what Nate said earlier, he tweeted out something saying the animations for the movements look stiff and things like that. And that's, I think, what I was kind of getting at, like with the sliding. It's like you're standing up, running, and then all of a sudden you're just down real low sliding. It's like there's no in between. You go from up to sliding on the ground, and there was like no like fluid animation for that.
Yeah.
You were just down on the ground all of a sudden, 8
Okay.
feet in front of you, ending the slide.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
We'll fucking see.
We'll fucking see, indeed. And then, by the way, one note we left out. So there's no more tack sprint. Good. However, when you start sprinting, you start with like an initial burst of speed, and then fairly quickly, but gradually over like a second, maybe a second and a half, slows down to like a normal sprint speed. So when you start your sprint, you'll start by going 30 miles an hour for like 700 milliseconds, and then it decays from 30 to like 20 miles an hour over 300 milliseconds, and then you're just sprinting at that speed indefinitely forever.
So it's basically how it is now, but now you pull your weapon up for the animation, so it kills your sprint out time.
Because it
because it lasts
way
a lot longer
shorter
though, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
And I don't think the sprint out penalty is any different if you stop sprinting during the burst of speed or later.
Got it. It basically sounds like they took what people complained about and altered it to something that I think most players will like then.
Yeah, I think it's a good change. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am curious if this can be abused, though. If you can just start a sprint, stop, start a sprint, stop, start a sprint, stop. But I would assume that they have some built-in cooldown for that. So it's not abusable.
You would think.
I would assume they have that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're on that with the sprint out time and everything. The ADS speed looked great for every weapon I saw. I never saw slow ADS like some dumb MG34 crap in this game, you know? Everything looked almost the same and very quick.
Yep.
There's like nothing to complain about there.
Yeah, 1,000% agreed. It looked great.
Yeah.
It looked overall good. So that takes us to our last point, and then we have one little piece of information for you. But our last point is, Tanner, what are your overall thoughts on Black Ops Cold War so far?
I'm excited for it. I can't wait to play the beta. The maps, I don't know if I'm liking the maps yet, but the only thing we do know for sure is the visibility's better, so that's always a good thing. The map could be not great, but as long as there's good visibility and I have a chance to see people, whatever, you know, it could just be a boring map, but I can still actually find players. Like I was saying, the movement and the movement seems quick, which I'm a fan of. Time to kill is great. I love that. Gunplay looks a little iffy. I'll just have to test that myself. It's hard to tell things like that from watching. I'm a little worried that traditional ground war isn't coming back. I'm not going to be happy if it's just replaced with that 12v12. I mean, like, a lot of the big PC streamers we watch, like, all they want to play is ground war. They're going to be furious if regular ground war is out.
Yeah, I know.
It's cool they're bringing back zombies. This game seems to have something for everybody. The Scorestreak system, still weird. I don't understand why they had to make that change. My biggest thing I'm wondering about still is basically it comes down to the prestige mode, because I really want that in the game. I want to hit level 1000, show off to everybody in the lobby. But
That you're a no-life virgin?
I'm a little worried about the number of maps and weapons in the game being somewhat low, because we had heard rumors like just a few months ago that there were only like 6 multiplayer maps that were completed so far, like 6v6 map. No, I think that was total multiplayer maps. So I'm worried they're going to launch the game with only like 10 total maps or something awful, and those are split up between like 6v6 and 12v12 and everything. The gunsmith, that's a big one for me. I did not expect any of that, and I don't think they could have done that better than it sounds like they are. So I'm excited for that. All in all, everything today was pretty much positive. But again, I've said this before, I thought Modern Warfare looked excellent. I remember watching the gameplay. I'm like, dude, tanks are in it. That's awesome. Not thinking about any of that stuff. So you don't think about or notice the small details until you play the game and realize how it can negatively affect it. But so far, at least the major problems with this game, from what we can tell, are fixed, and we won't have those any longer. So I'm excited to play the beta.
Yeah. Okay. So my overall impressions here. I'm not going to get too granular because we kind of did all of that. So here's what I'll say. A lot of this stuff we've learned today, I have very much liked. And that's all the things that, again, I went into all of it. And everything I did not like about this game is just as much of a problem, if not more of a problem already, in MDub. So if I don't like something in Cold War, everything I didn't like in Cold War is also something I don't like in MDub. There's nothing that I've learned so far that is worse about this game than Modern Warfare is. However, there are a lot of things that I've learned about this game that are either equivalent to Modern Warfare or, importantly, much fucking better than Modern Warfare. So my overall impression is that I find it inconceivable that this game is not way, way, way better than Modern Warfare is. For so many reasons that we went over. Swimming, good point, Face Esquire. There is water in this game. That's worse than MDub. Okay, touche. You got me there. You got me there. Okay. Besides swimming, every single thing about this game that is different is way better than Modern Warfare. And therefore, I am incredibly excited because, again, I can't conceive of a scenario where everything we learned today is true, which it is, and it's somehow as bad or worse than MDub. It is going to be a better game. I guarantee it. I fucking guarantee it. Period. But there's too much good shit we learned today that's so much better than Modern Warfare that it's impossible that it is not a better game to me than MDub is.
Yeah,
So-
also, if you're going to question that, like, what are you saying about Modern Warfare being a way worse game? Just stop for a second and think, are you playing multiplayer or are you playing Warzone?
Yeah,
If you're playing Warzone, let's not count that, yeah?
because we're not talking about
Because that's not the same. We're thinking Modern Warfare multiplayer. If Warzone didn't come out, this would have been probably the worst multiplayer year for Call of Duty in years.
Yeah, and we're, of course, we're comparing Cold War multiplayer to MDub multiplayer. This wasn't the Cold War Warzone seamless transition reveal. It was the multiplayer reveal. So yeah, that's what I'm referring to, which is by far the most important part of a Call of Duty game for me. So yeah. I am thrilled, and all things considered, this basically couldn't have gone any better as far as a reveal. There were some things that I like about this that I didn't even know I would like the multiplicative score streak thing. I really like that, and I would have never thought of it, and I think it's good. Awesome. Fantastic. And then there were a lot of things that I wanted this game to be or to do that they actually just did. Like percentage bars on the gunsmith, for example. That is a very specific thing that I wanted that we actually got.
Yeah.
You know?
Actually.
The return of the minimap is another very specific thing that I wanted that we actually got. There are other things like that too. So this game is just going to be better there's not a chance on God's green earth that it's worse. In my
I think
opinion.
prestige mode would seal all that too.
Prestige mode would be an excellent addition for sure.
That's like one of the last big things that people really want.
Yeah. There are still, of course, some questions to be answered, but I'm very optimistic and I'm very excited. And for those of you who say, oh, Razinon's just a fucking negative Nancy, he's just a hater, he just wants to hate on the game. No, I really don't. I like Call of Duty and I want the game to be good. MDub just isn't. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to myself and tell you that this is a good game or tell myself that it's a good game because it's not. But I'm really rooting for Call of Duty and everything here has me very optimistic and I'm very excited. So with that, let's last little piece here. Now that we're all very excited about Call of Duty Cold War, now that we all know a lot of details about it, the open beta dates have been revealed. Weekend 1, PlayStation exclusive. By the way, who called it? Twitch.tv/Razinon. Weekend 1, PlayStation exclusive. October 8th through the 12th is for PlayStation plebs only. And then weekend 2 is for everybody. October 15th through the 19th. Now, if you pre-order the game, you get access on each of these weekends 2 days early. So, October 8th and 9th is if you're on PS4 and you pre-ordered. That's early access. And then the 10th and through the 12th is for everyone on PS4. And then the same is the case except cross-platform for weekend 2. So save those dates. October 8th through 12th for PS4, 15th through 19th for everyone. Yeah, that's any closing thoughts on Call of Duty Cold War?
Can't wait to play the beta, dude.
Can't wait.
I feel like so we're gonna have 4 days. I feel like that's longer than Modern Warfare. I feel like we only had like
I thought
2
we
nights
had
of it.
I thought it was one early day and then yeah, I know.
So we're getting 4 nights.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's big, dude.
for sure.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm furious that PS4 gets it a week early and also for 4 full days. That pisses me off.
I know. That sucks.
So, not too happy about that, but whatever.
I'm going to be so pissed. I remember in MDub, I was so mad that whole week because I was watching all their YouTube videos. They're having fun. They're doing things. And I was like, oh, I want to play so bad.
Yeah, and then we played and realized it was Azir Cave 90% of the time.
I actually got bored of the beta like 2 hours in.
Well, we're going to be that same way about this game.
Yeah, true.
It's just to try it. I mean, after a few hours, there's no point in playing it again.
I agree.
I mean, you can max out everything in the beta in under 5 hours easily.
Yeah, no cap.
So it's more meant for them to test things, try to find any large last minute bugs they didn't come across.
Test the servers and shit. Yeah, for sure.
Test the servers. Yeah.
Were you gonna stream tonight, Tanner? Are we gaming?
Probably not. I'm probably. It's too late now.
We could do a couple multiplayer games if you want.
Not interested.
You'd probably get some support.
I don't want to stream tonight.
Okay.
We can do these iTunes reviews and everything.
Oh, we sure as fuck can. So now we get into the next section, which is iTunes reviews. If you write a iTunes review and rate it 5 stars, I will read it. I don't care what it says. And thus we will start with our first 5-star review of the evening. Dustman0204. Change it. Awesome job is the title of this review. Awesome podcast. You guys keep me informed on new info every week. I'm a firefighter and we play together as a shift. That's actually cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Firefighters do a lot of dicking around and they get paid to do it, which makes sense because they're on call. And if my house is burning down, I want them to be well rested, having fun, gaming. Now, if they're one off a nuke, I expect them to turn off the PC or probably the Xbox because they're firefighters and get in the fucking truck and save my property because that's why I pay taxes. But nonetheless, it's hard for us to find out info because we're always busy. Well, you're playing Xbox at work, so maybe you're not that busy, bro. But I'll for sure keep that in mind, Dustman. Change it. Please don't use the air horn so much. We are not in the club. Hey, Dustman, take my tax dollars and suck my cock. I'll use my air horn as much as I goddamn please, but I appreciate the constructive criticism. Also, Call of Duty Ghosts was the worst game ever. Never played it. Neither did Tanner. If you want to help me out because we know firefighters make crap money. Do we know that? I thought it was a pretty good job. Full benefits, pension.
Yeah, finish it. Just finish it, and then we'll talk about that because that pisses me off, actually.
Okay. Then hit my Venmo at DUSTMAN0204. DUSTMAN0204 on Venmo. Thanks to Tanner's mustache. Okay, Tanner, you're pissed. What are your thoughts?
I don't. Where do these people always live? I genuinely want to know. I guess we're just in Southern California, so we're used to everyone getting paid a lot more. But dude, I always see people say like, "Oh, teachers don't make shit. Firefighters and cops don't make shit." Well, hey, come to Southern California because they all make over $100,000.
I don't think teachers do.
Well, yes, they certainly do.
Really?
My sister's a teacher. She doesn't make that much yet, but the teacher she replaced, who taught elementary school, was there however many 20-something years. She was making $120,000 when she retired. Yeah. So I don't know what. It's just, it all depends on where you live. Like, obviously, if this dude lives in the middle of Missouri, where a house costs $40,000, then yeah, dude, maybe you're only making $50 a year.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they make a lot. See, Scuba gets it. 100,000 is average.
That's crazy.
I'm looking at LA County. LA County Fire average wage 100,000. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Average LA County Fire Department.
Plus full benefits.
Plus a shitload of overtime if they want it usually.
Yeah. I don't know if they get a 401k. I'm pretty sure they don't. But they do get a pension, which is fucking tasty, by the way.
Even better, yeah.
Yeah, it's better because it's not subject to the market. Yeah.
They get probably some of the best benefits out there. Same with cops. Because my brother-in-law is trying to go through that right now. Like, sheriff's deputies with overtime, like not even 5 years on the job can be making $150,000.
That's so crazy.
So I don't know where you live, but hey, fight fires somewhere else.
Yeah. Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way, Dustman. You almost certainly make more money than I do. So hey, Dick, how about I PM you my Venmo? How about you help me out, bro? Because you almost certainly make more than I do.
Yeah, so join our Patreon.
With a pension. Patreon.com/thedropshot for reparations for that terrible comment. But thank you for the 5-star review, in all seriousness. This next one, this person says he is Tanner Dropshot as usual. I don't know what this means. It's not clever, and I don't like it. But I like the contents of this review. The title is Do What Casey Tells You. Well, okay, you're changing my mind here, Tanner Dropshot. Maybe I might need a new co-host. TDSAU, as usual. Big fan of the pod. Been listening since early May and haven't missed an ep. I used to be in the live stream more when I had time, but listening, even though I stopped playing, is still great. I've heard that pretty often, which is very surprising. I would not listen to a podcast about a video game I don't play, so I appreciate that you do. Y'all help me get through my studying. Well, you should study and not listen to podcasts. Maybe that's why you're failing, probably. Just kidding. I don't know. I can't listen to a podcast while I study. Doesn't matter. The title of this review is meant as a command to viewers. Okay. After reading Rage by Richard Bachman, Stephen King's first pen name for his first novel entitled Rage, also in one sitting, and listening to the John Stryker-Meyer eps of the Jocko Pod, I can officially confirm that Razinon's media suggestions have a 100% hit rate. Well, Tanner Dropshot, as usual. Glad you agree. Glad you've enjoyed those pieces of media. And thank you for the 5 stars. Thanks for the analytics, you dumb bitches. It is much appreciated. So, real quick, wrapping up here. First of all, the Xbox has been announced. The new one, the Series S, is $300. The Series X is $500. Pre-order is open September 22nd, and the console comes out November 10th. Now, the difference between these two is the CPUs are different. Wow. One is 3.8 gigs, one is 3.6. Very interesting. The GPUs have different specs as well. Wow. Wow, they're actually different specs. They're not just different memory or something. So I'm not going to read these specs off to you because I don't know what they mean. You guys wouldn't either. And another big difference is that the Series S does not have a disk drive. The Series X does, which is very interesting.
That's big RAM differences too. 16 gigs versus a max of 10. Also, the Series S doesn't do actual native real 4K. It like tries to upscale it, and it's not actually 4K.
Got it. Interesting.
The other thing with that is it only comes with a 512 terabyte SSD, which is not very large by today's standards.
Gigabyte.
And I read somewhere, what did I say?
You said terabyte. That's a lot of storage.
That is a large piece of storage.
That's enough for like 3 Warzone patches.
Sorry, I'm used to not ever saying anything less than a terabyte because I own a PC and I don't own anything less than a 1 terabyte piece of memory. So 512 gigabyte is disgusting. It's fucking terrible. And I also read somewhere at some God, I hate this word.
Proprietary.
I can't say that word. I've never been able to say it.
That's
Anyways,
so weird.
that word, okay. You have to use some weird SSD and
It's such an easy word.
it's a hard word to say. Come
Proprietary.
on. Proprietary. There we
Hey,
go.
Tanner, here's another one. Irish wristwatch.
I'm not
Try
saying
it.
that.
Try it once.
I'm not saying it.
Try it once.
I'm not saying it.
Irish
I'm not saying
wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch.
There you go. Okay.
I had to say it very slow.
Go on.
So anyways, the expansion card, they list it right down there. 1 terabyte expansion card. You have to use their bullshit, and I read somewhere the rumors are for 1 terabyte drive, it's like over $250. It's like, dude,
wow.
you can get a 1 terabyte SSD now for like $80 for a computer.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's scuffed as fuck.
Okay, with all that said, of course it's scuffed, and don't buy a console. With all that said, this is very fucking cheap. And the new NVIDIA graphics cards are also very cheap. What is going on with all the very cheap tech? Those have to be related, right? There's something going on in the tech sector that is driving costs down. Because it's not a coincidence that these consoles are this cheap and the GPUs were this cheap. Right? Am I bugging?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you are bugging.
Isn't this cheaper than you thought these would be?
Absolutely. I think
Way cheaper.
I'm pretty sure we talked about this on an episode, and I was like, no, there's no way the new Xbox is going to be under $600. So that's pretty damn cheap.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, is I think you have to pay monthly for this shit. I mean,
whatever you saw, I think it means you can pay it in monthly installments. Oh, wait, like monthly
if
for
you're
Xbox
doing
Live
Xbox
or something?
Live or something like that.
Yeah. That's always been the case, though, hasn't it? For Xbox Live? I remember it was like $5 a month.
Maybe it was the payment plan.
When I was just dogging kids in Lone Wolves playlist of Halo 3.
Jesus, so you can pay $25 a month for 2 years to get the Series S. If you don't have $299, maybe you shouldn't be buying a console, period.
It's possible.
How about that? Why don't we start there?
It's super possible.
Unless you're a child, then I can understand it.
Unless you're a child, yeah.
Unless you're a boy with a boy tummy.
A boy with a boy's tummy, yeah. So, anyway, that's news. It's interesting. Don't buy an Xbox, but if you wanted to, it's way cheaper than I thought. And then our very last note here. I've saved the best for last, of course. The best possible thing that could have happened to me on Twitch, besides Belarusian oil prince donating tens of thousands of dollars, of course, happened to me. And that was this. Twitch.tv/Seritron watched my random Warzone duo stream with Tanner. And it was so fucking crazy, dude. was the best thing that's ever happened to me. So I'm streaming. Tanner's playing with me. And we're just getting dub after dub in Warzone. Typical.
We'll go with that, actually. Yeah.
Typical. And then Tanner like shouts at me in a tone that I do not hear often. He's like, dude, look at your chat. Like the most serious voice I've ever heard Tanner use. And I was like, damn, dude, what? So I look and I see a verified badge. That's the first thing I see. Verified means you're partnered on Twitch. You're a big deal. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Who is this? And then I read the name in disbelief because it was my favorite streamer of all time, Syrian, the Mad Marsupial, the aimbot from the Outback himself, was in this fucking chat, dude, saying things. So I was just fucking thrilled. I was so excited. He's literally my favorite streamer ever on Twitch. He's a Call of Duty PC streamer. He's insanely fucking good. And he's like one of the funniest streamers on Twitch. He genuinely makes me laugh every time I watch a stream. I fucking love this guy. So yeah, he was in the chat. Not even during a podcast, during like some duo's fucking Warzone stream. And I was like, dude, that's so crazy. Because I'm active in his chat a lot, so maybe that's why he like followed me. I don't know, but whatever. I don't know why he was in there, but he was. And he stayed for like an hour and was like chatting. And it was so fucking cool. I was so happy. It was the best thing that's ever happened to me. I mean, dude, fucking Beyonce Knowles could have came in my chat and I wouldn't have been as excited.
Yeah, I would have banned her, actually.
Okay.
I would have said, don't care.
Don't care. Like, there's no other celebrity I would have preferred in my chat than Syrian at that time. At this time.
You're a virgin boy, but yeah.
It was fucking insane. I was so happy. So, nothing came of it or anything, but I just thought it was very cool, and I thought I would share. This is an important milestone for me, and I was very happy about it. So, I had the goat.
And like Siri said, he was like chatting with everyone. People were talking with him. He was responding.
Yeah.
He called me by my name.
He did.
Which I was a big
that.
fan of.
I remember,
which was weird because
yeah.
I was like, how did he just like hear it from you calling me that, or like I don't know. I mean, hey, maybe he listens to the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast.
It's
Who
possible.
knows? It's definitely possible.
It's possible.
Shout out to twitch.tv/Siritron.
Yeah. So, but yes, actually, shout out to twitch.tv/Siritron. So, you guys have absolutely heard me talk about this guy before. I call him Syrian because that's what his like in-game name is, and that's like how he refers to himself. But his Twitch stream is Siritron. So twitch.tv/Siritron. Follow him on Twitch. He hasn't been streaming MW lately because he also hates this game, but he will be back soon, and he'll be streaming Cold War certainly when it comes out. So give him a follow. Tell him the Dropshot sent you if you're in the chat. Please, desperately, please.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Fuck, I don't remember. It was something about Syrian.
He knew your name.
Oh, it was, what was it he followed you on randomly a while ago? Was that Twitch or Twitter?
It was Twitch like 3 months ago.
Yeah, just like out of nowhere, like a random offline follow.
That's how that's why he came in, because he must have still been following me.
Yeah, well, he's unfollowed now, so just kidding.
he hated the stream. Yeah, I was surprised at how active he was for that length of time too. Like
yeah, he was chatting for like, he was like
I wouldn't
say an hour. It was a solid minimum 30. I was thinking more 45 or so.
Maybe. Okay, we'll go with that.
Let's not call it an hour though.
Well, it was like 90 minutes, but yeah.
It probably felt like an eternity for you because you were in heaven.
It was like 2.5 hours, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So that was fantastic. That was fun and exciting. So.
No, what's crazy is you didn't even VIP him.
I did. He was VIP'd before he even came in the stream. So don't ever say that again.
You are fake news.
No,
you are fake news.
Really?
I'm not. Yes, of course. As soon as he followed me, he was VIP'd.
That's hilarious.
Offline, no one's streaming, don't care. VIP'd him. Easy. The first message he sent, he was VIP'd. How dare you? How dare you?
He was also subbed like immediately.
Yeah,
he
Pritch
sent out like
him.
one thing, and then
Pritch
he got
gifted him.
a sub.
I think he saw.
He's like,
how
"Whoa,
hard
I already
got.
have a sub."
I was gonna gift him, but Pritch beat me to it, so
Yeah.
I was happy with that, I guess. But God, I fucking love that guy, dude. He's so funny. He's so fucking funny. Anyways, with that said, I think Tanner, we've broken a record.
Really?
We've done some Alex Jones JRE level podcasting here this evening.
Okay.
We've been live for we've been recording for 3 hours and 40 minutes. We've been live for 4 hours and 5 minutes. It has been an episode. So I hope you guys got cozy. And now we're just going to do a quick little wrap up. If you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoy the podcast in general, the best way to support us, besides, of course, listening, which we very much appreciate because analytics at the end of the day are the most important. But besides that, if you want to go above and beyond, the best way to support us, for us and for you, is to join the Patreon. Patreon.com/thedropshot. One word. $5 a month will get you 4 bonus eps per month. Great value. And then there's another tier with other extra perks, benefits. The Damascus Hangout is weekly every Friday. If you're interested in that, you can see patreon.com/thedropshot for more details. But Gold gets you 4 bonus episodes a month, only $5 a month. Consider checking it out. It's the best way to support us. Besides listening, as I said, the money goes to both of us. We get the biggest cut, yada, yada, yada. And you get the most out of it. You get the most out of your $5 if you join the Patreon. So consider doing that. Follow me on Twitter at Razinon. Don't forget, I'm doing a giveaway of the Ultimate Edition of Cold War. So that's also taking place on Twitter at Razinon. Twitch at twitch.tv/Razinon. Instagram, RazinontTTV. Tanner, where can we find you?
Twitter, Tanner Dropshot, and twitch.tv/Tanner Dropshot.
Yeah. And if you have Amazon Prime, as most people do, link it to your Twitch account in your Twitch settings, and you're entitled to subscribing to a Twitch channel for free once a month. Do it on Tanner's channel. It pays Tanner. It costs you nothing because you've already paid for it with your Amazon Prime subscription. So link those up. Give them your Twitch Prime. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes, please. Those have been drying up, and I hate it. So rate it 5 stars. You don't have to write a review. Don't care. Just rate it 5 stars. If you write a review and it's a 5-star rating, I'll read it. So you can beg for money. You can write song lyrics. Don't care. Just rate us 5 stars.
I think we need to put that
iTunes.
back at the very start again. That makes people right.
I'll keep that in mind, and we'll discuss it. So
it'll be an internal discussion.
it's an internal. It's at our next Dropshot LLC board meeting. So, and also tell your dumb fuck friends about us. By the way, we need to boost these numbers. These are rookie numbers. You have friends that play this game because you're all fucking nerds, right? You're all nerds. So tell your dumb friends about us. Find me on YouTube at Razinon, or you can search for the Dropshot. Full episodes of the pod with video are posted there in stunning 1080p clarity with my extremely expensive camera and Tanner's webcam, as well as clips from the podcast that you can share with your friends. They're little baby clips that are digestible. So you can say, hey, listen, watch this clip. And if you like it, you might want to listen to the full fucking episode. Maybe subscribe to the pod. Tell your friends that. We also post clips from Patreon episodes. So if you're considering joining the Patreon, check out the YouTube. Check out the clips page. The 2 most recent clips right now are from our latest Patreon episode. So give that a listen if you like it. Consider joining. And we post gameplay breakdowns there, which are obviously not on the podcast app. Those are cool too. Those are really fun. And they've been popular. So find us on YouTube. Smash the like. Make sure to subscribe. Comment ideally. We have 2 merch stores with a bunch of fire merch. Rep your favorite podcast. Clothing, accessories, handbags, mouse pads, duffel bags, shirts, hats, bandanas.
Is there actually a duffel bag?
Dog bandanas. Of course there is.
Not.
There actually is. So find all that and more at the merch stores. They are linked in the description and in the show
Something I'll
notes.
keep in mind.
Phone cases and all kinds of shit. Of course, join the fucking Discord. The Discord is absolutely on fire. So at this point, if you don't join the Discord, you're dumb. So that's fine. If you want to be dumb, then don't join the Discord. But
yeah, you're dumb.
if you want immense value and laughs and hangouts and coziness, join the fucking Discord. And if you don't want that, if you're dumb, then don't join the Discord. But that is up to you, and the link is in the show notes. Thank you again, everyone, for the insane support today. Kickflip, I don't know if I thank you for the gifted sub, but thank you, dude. Honored, humbled, and privileged. Support has been nuts tonight, and I very much appreciate it, boys. So thank you very much for that. This has been a very long fucking episode. And then last, of course, long and exciting. Last but of course not least, extra special thanks to our Damascus patrons, Mr. Salmonella, J. Pritch, Slivovitz, Jake Downs, Zerosio, Rainman, Sandstoner, Tequila Sir Rockingbird, Face Esquire, Gift Curse, Adam H, Sniff Sniff Hambone, change it, Jimmy M, Von Trapp, Aussie Menace, Vesterg, Godadote, Josh V, Yep Buddy, Civ, Famous Were Kid, absolutely change it, Sly, Dr. J Webb, Patrick C, Derek R, Wade M, It's DePickle, Hunter, Chase H, Killa Cam, change it for sure. An extra special thank you to the Dropshot Patriarch, our one and only Obsidian patron, the Vaping Viking. All right, boys, that is going to wrap it up for 3 hours and 45 minutes of recorded content in the fucking books. Just setting records here on the Dropshot LLC. We hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, patreon.com/thedropshot. Help me quit my job so I can do more of these for you. #shill. Have an excellent evening, boys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as always, of course, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe because in addition to full episodes like this, we've also got clips from the show, as well as gameplay breakdowns and more on the channel. The show is streamed live on twitch.tv/Razinon every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So give us a follow over there, make sure to turn on notifications, and you can chat with us live during the podcast. And of course, we are available wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for the Dropshot on your favorite podcast app and make sure to give us a follow. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. And as always, remember, stay humble.